Egunon, everyone, and here we are. This is finals day of the Cabreiroá Pro Zarautz Basque Country presented by Oakley. I'm Ben Way here with Arthur Rashkoven.
Morning.
We are going to see some hot action. We still have some waves. Conditions have decreased a little bit, but we've only got semifinals of women, semifinals of men, then we'll be followed by the finals of men and finals of women. Right now, finals of women and finals of men. We have a 10 o'clock a.m. high tide, so we're almost at the high tide. The inside bars have been the most consistent, and just in case the swell disappears with the tide going out, we decided to start up early, so we're going to have some great action. First off, if you guys weren't online yesterday watching, we've got some great highlights from yesterday's competition day. Check it out. All right, so lots of action yesterday, finishing off with a really great final between Nomi Mignot, Pedro Enrique. Heated conversation, some amazing rides, a lost board of Nomi Mignot with no leash on, and turned it around, got the score he needed. We're just about to start up our semifinal heat number one between Leticia Canales, Bilbao from Spain, and Teresa Bonvalo from Portugal. We've added 5 minutes on those heats, so now we're going to have 30-minute semifinals. And you are looking at the beautiful beach here in Zarautz. So a little bit, tide's a little bit lower than it's been. You can see the beach is nice and big. A little bit of onshore winds, a little bit of texture, but yeah. The best surfers this event are left, and what's been some of your favorite action?
Well, first I want to recall that last wave of Nome Mignon. I just got to sneak out. I saw it live, and every turn, just exactly where it was needed to be. He squeezed it, pushed it the hardest he could, and wow, what a performance. That last heat, like the best heat of the day, highest scores, and well, so many amazing stacked heats yesterday, so much action.
And we can't take away what an amazing performance Pedro Enrique put on in the beginning of the heat. I mean, just a variety of amazing turns, showing power, and poise, but yep, Nomi was the one who moved on through, and it looks like got a couple people out on the boardwalk warming up. No skateboards just out yet, but we'll have that sun peeking out. We have some morning yoga going on here.
No body glove wetsuits. You promised body glove yoga session.
Oh, is that what it is? It's a body glove yoga session.
That's what I heard.
You're a little bit more tuned in than I am. So there we have our rider in red, Leticia Canales. I always say red. You know, the women's heats, it's a pink jersey. Rider in pink. And there we have the gallery lining up on the beach. And we've had a couple days where we had a full day of rain up here in the Basque Country in May. It can be really unpredictable. It can go from really hot to really cold, winds switching around.
And again today, it's a different weather pattern. It's a little bit of a onshore, kind of breezy.
Waves are a little bit smaller, but yeah, not as much surf needed either because we've only got 2 surfers in the water. So
2 surfers, 2 hours of action left, and beautiful day ahead of us.
Yeah, so all of our friends, so this is our contest area. That is our little media station. Next to that, we have our tour manager, Rob Gunning. He's in that little window right there if you look down. There's Lewis. He loves wood. He loves chasing tennis balls. He's not too into ping pong balls.
He's a full part of the tour.
This guy was scouring the bottom, making sure there's no dangerous materials down the bottom. Nice clean beaches here. He said it's A-okay. We can go ahead and start. So we are going to get our 2 surfers into the lineup. Must be pretty charged up on coffee. I'm having a lot of fun, and it's just 10 o'clock in the morning.
Just third coffee we had this morning. But let's talk about the surfers in the water, Leticia Canales Bilbao and Teresa Bonvalot. Didn't they meet in the previous round already? I think they have. And their surfing it resembles both our goofy footers.
I hate to cut you off, but on our screen right now, that is the far right side. That's the east side of the beach. On the other side of that, there's an actual wall, and that's where boats used to come in and take out the rocks to get iron.
Oh, wow.
I got to see that from the air the other day. Very cool. And just above that, there's a really, really cool kind of iron processing plant. Still up there, original architecture. And now we have our two surfers in the lineup. And so we just heard the horn, and now we're going. Heat is on in the water. Who do we got?
Leticia Canales Bilbao from Spain and Teresa Bonvalot from Portugal. Two girls from yesterday, ladies, they shredded throughout the day. Beautiful performance, really consistent, and throughout the changes with the tides, they really provided the package, and here they are, semifinals, finals day.
We've been really, really fortunate to have this same sandbar working. We haven't shifted off this main peak the whole time. Between the high tide and the low tide, this still seems to be the most defined peak on the beach.
Throughout this whole stretch, 100% it is. When you come down to the beach, you see this one is sticking out. It has the true form going both ways. And yeah, we're watching the first set filtering through, or is it looks, well, it's from the screen here, it's kind of different. You can't really see the whole action to see what's pushing in there. But it looks like the girls are still waiting for the first wave. 28 minutes, 30 seconds, long time. Now it's 30-minute heats, so the girls have their time to get ready, prepare, breathe in between waves, and wait for the right ride.
The other thing is, I mean, it's like this kind of short fetch wind swell today. Looks kind of like a wave pool out there, and so they're going to really have to zone in and recognize which waves are really going to produce the potential, because it's been spelled out all the other days. It's been nice and clean. We've had glassy conditions. We had a couple days that started about double overhead, I'm sorry. But yeah, a lot of swell, great waves in the first few days of competition. We did about 13 hours of competition through day one and day two.
Wow. But eventually this is a true test to surfers' abilities going through so many changes.
Yeah,
with weather, tides, size, changing equipment.
And it's a marathon. I mean, we had some surfers did 3 rounds yesterday.
Well, they don't call it the grind for nothing.
Yeah, well, frontside grind, backside grind, and we're going to see who starts this up right now. Kind of spaced out, not a lot of gems out in the water, so it's really, I think wave for wave, they're going to really kind of be learning what's on hand today and what kind of opportunities there are.
And yeah, it looks like the girls are still, they're a bit hesitant about paddling into the first one, as they have 30-minute heat. It's they have their space.
Yeah, you know what, like at this moment, whoever takes off first is sort of like the test monkey of the sandbar today. And so it's likely that it won't be the best wave, and then that priority will be tossed back. Whoever takes it, gets back out in the lineup is going to get that priority. But I think the other surfer is going to kind of watch what happens, watch what they're able to do, and have a little bit of an advantage. So here we go. Leticia's not sitting around. She doesn't want to get cold. Being able to put it on rail, up and over that section. Here we go. And that's that left that we've been seeing work throughout the competition. Yesterday, through the higher tide heats, that left was really turning on. As the tide would drop out, it would start to be the rights turning on. So no, it's pretty much been an even game. It's just kind of a shuffle up of where the draw puts out the regular footers and the goofy footers.
Exactly that, and here we go. We take the replay. Yeah, she does a full wrap and then goes over that little foam to get to that last section, like a 3-part cutty, and kicks out.
Yeah, you could see there was that lump in the face. They're pretty much there was no other option except for kind of three-point turning it, having to keep that direction and not get stuck and hung up on that bump. So she had to straighten out just for a moment there. But
Good to
looking at that, I mean, that's more potential than I thought there was.
Yeah, good to put her feet on her board, feel it, stay warm, stay busy.
Rub that wax into your toes because the water is chilly. A lot of these surfers are in 4mm wetsuits. Although
And-
we have had a couple crazy surfers out there in short sleeve fulls, and 5.67 for that first one of red. So not a bad way to start things out.
That's an interesting score. Probably interesting call by the judges.
Also,
It's already a mid-range.
lots of surf schools down here in Zarautz. A lot of people taking up surfing for the first time. And one thing we got to think about is that score, 5.67. These are completely new conditions, so the judges really have to set the scale. You can't expect so much out of these waves. So even something smaller, even if to the untrained eye, what looks a little bit simple is actually really difficult in these conditions. So the scores will come up a bit.
There's going to be a lot of physical ability factor in these heats because the wave doesn't really provide you the energy that you need to go and make the best turn you can on the wave. So it's fitness, where you come from, what you're used to, your equipment, of course, and your own raw talent eventually.
Yeah, as you mentioned, equipment.
All right, so we're going to check how the drone looks at us from the sky. Check
Yeah.
out some visuals.
Yeah, so, oh, hold on. Looks like we're going to have some live action.
Another
So
beautiful.
this is not live action, just for everyone who knows. This was filmed throughout our contest days, but just so you know the layout. And Leticia just getting on it. She is getting herself a backup score. Teresa hanging tight. But I love seeing that energy, and also, I mean, there's chilly mornings. Let's watch that replay as Leticia takes off. She's eyeing up the spot here, having to get over this little double up. Now the wave's building, getting that speed, and bangs one off the section. That's all that wave really had, but she'll get rewarded for that one hit.
Yeah, like I said before, you got to stay. As we see Vicente, we're talking about ability and fitness. He's preparing for his heat, but yeah, this kind of wave doesn't provide you any kind of energy. It's how strong you are, how fit you are, how much energy you can create out of one bottom turn. Hit the lip as hard as you can, and the wave, as much as it can back you up. But you need to be punctual.
Yeah, and also, as much as you're hitting it as hard as you can't hit it too hard because the wave doesn't have that much power to push you back. And here we have our previous winner, Pauline Nadeau. She's won this thing 2 times, I believe.
Pauline Nadeau from France, former CT competitor.
Yeah, she's going to be up against Anat Lelior from your area in Israel. She did an amazing job yesterday, showing her talent, showing a lot of power, and probably a name that's not as well known to a lot of the viewers. I think you'll be seeing a lot more of her in the future from seeing what she did yesterday.
Yes, Anat is truly our biggest hope in professional surfing at the moment, and she's getting good results. She already got a semifinal finish at the previous Cabreiroá Pro in Tenerife. She had the highest score of the event as well, 9.33. Really impressed the judges there. So we have quite high expectations, and that heat is coming up. I think it's heat number 2.
Speaking
Right.
of high scores, I mean, we had some really, really high single wave scores all the way up into the 9s, in both the men's and the women's.
Yes, that Bulaud, Canel Bulaud, 9 and 9.6 in one heat in less than 2 minutes.
Yeah, there was another wave by Maxime Husseneau. First wave of the heat, 9.56, I think it was.
9.67.
9.67, I'm sorry. Look at that, nice. Putting it on rail. This is one thing, I mean, is our Spanish surfers have probably spent a lot of time at this beach They've got the local knowledge. They know about the energy out there, and she is just linking it up. Look at this one, all the way through the inside. Nice flow, nice rhythm. She would have loved to finish that.
I
But
would have loved it.
She'd gotten a lot done before that. We're not worried about that end turn, although that will affect slightly with the score that she's given. The judges love to see them finish with control. And
But yeah, let's talk about her technique on this wave. It's so hard to maintain those long lines. Of course, there was a few part cutties, but still, it's clean, it's smooth. She displaces a little bit of water there.
and she kept that flow, kept that speed and rhythm, and there we have Anat.
Getting ready.
His father makes the best sandwiches in the world, which I've heard.
Yeah, he saved us yesterday.
He's such a cool guy. So right now, we have had just about 10 minutes go by, and now we have 2 scores waiting on another one.
And
So Teresa really needs to get cooking here because her requirements getting bumped up. I mean, it's gonna be knocked right down as soon as she gets a couple scores. But right now, Leticia building 4.0s. Now we're back up.
yeah, it looks like Teresa is looking for something that it might not show up, and the smart decisions are, well, the last 10 minutes are made by Leticia. So that's why she's leading the heat at the moment. And
Teresa's a really strong competitor. She's definitely got some kind of plan that she's using here.
maybe 19 minutes to go. She still has time to set the plan to motion. Let's see what this little nug, is she gonna paddle into it, or no, not her direction.
Yeah, from this angle, it's pretty hard to tell where those waves are actually hitting. But we do have 2 different camera angles covering the action. Also providing the judges with a fair replay system, being able to observe the rides from different angles and really zone in on those little points of the ride to get the best scoring.
Yeah, so tides is, high tide was at 10 and 10 minutes.
Yeah, so it's almost at the max high tide. And we do know, like, this sandbar's kind of been liking the middle to high. So by the time we hit our finals, we'll be at a really nice tide. And here goes Teresa, just trying to get over this deep spot. And, yeah, really, really hard to predict what these waves are going to do off the takeoff. You just kind of have to take a chance. And it looks like Leticia has made it back out into the lineup and gotten that priority. So this is, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I think in these conditions, especially with 2 surfers, priorities really didn't come into play when you're only getting one really nice wave every few minutes.
Yes, you can actually burn a few good minutes off your competitor's time during the heat if you hold on to priority. And that really sets into Leticia's game right now in her favor, leading the heat with a 5.67 4.0, while Teresa is still looking to get her feet on her board and put a score there. And yeah, it's not easy out there at the moment, as the conditions are not in the favor of the surfers, but as you can see, you could get some scores out of it.
Yeah, definitely. And also, as we mentioned before, I mean, the judges have to know that there's only so much possible in these conditions, and we are going to see a replay. I think this is one of the. I think this is the first wave. Look how beautifully she puts it on rail there, banks it off, sets herself up perfect for that little climb there, giving her a lot of speed into this next one. Like we said, there was that little lump that came up the face.
Yeah.
She had to straighten out and kind of break that rail line. But just beautiful turns.
Yeah, now we have a little bit of perspective of what's going on, and her decisions were right on point. Because you can see she was right on the right waves. She really squeezed out whatever she could out of those sections, and she put a few proper scores. The max she could get out of those, out of the conditions, and let's see how the next 15 minutes are gonna pan out.
Yeah, you can also see at certain heats, one surfer's just got that connection to the ocean. just that luck and that groove. And here she goes. I mean, she's picking them off. That one was, I mean, the shoulder just disappeared out of nowhere.
Of course, she didn't complete that turn, but for everyone on Webland over there
to do a
to
turn
make this
like
a
that
full turn,
yeah,
full wrapping turn, it was a knee-high wave at the end of it. So amazing technique.
She's just motoring into that thing. And yeah, I mean, she's got beautiful body positioning. She knows where to start the turn and knows how to fit herself into the contours of the wave. So 1.50 is going to be throwaway for that one. Teresa Bonvalot's best score at the moment is a 1.07. And now I think she's going to start to turn up the heat a little bit as Teresa has priority now. 15 minutes. So we've cut half of the heat off. It went by quick.
Yeah. And yeah, I think light-footed servers have a definite advantage today, as there's not enough push to have the juice from the ocean.
Yep.
To create that dynamics and like strong, powerful surfing. So the lighter ones, the lighter weighted ones as well, might have an advantage today.
Yeah, there's only various moments of the ride that can handle really pushing in without killing your speed. So just as you're saying, got to be light-footed, got to glide over those little flat spots and just connect the dots at all the little power sources that pop up.
Yeah, and we are 14 minutes to go in this heat, and future's not looking easy for Teresa. She's holding on to priority and waiting for that right one to really start a good score on the board. But how many waves were ridden until now? Just 6 waves in the last 16 minutes.
Yep, not very much, but here we go. Maxime Hussinot has been... Actually, I guess he's just going out for a free surf. I can't tell which peak he's using. Oh, he's directly right out in front of us. So, yeah, it's always with these changing conditions. You got to get out there, get a little taste before your heat if you're able to.
Yeah, Teresa paddled into it, but kind of let go, so she's still maintaining her priority. There's a very...
Nope, priority changed.
Oh, you see. Priority
so,
change.
Yeah, that is...
It's a very delicate detail there. You paddle, you show you want the wave. You don't get it, you lose priority.
Yeah, priority judges have a really tough job. Right now, luckily, the surfers are right out in front of them with the higher tides. At the low tides during some of the days, I mean, they were a half kilometer out to sea on the outside. And to tell who's just a little bit farther out is hard enough, but just a little nudge of a paddle, even if they didn't really get into the wave, can be the make it or break it as far as keeping that priority. So, I mean, if you're going to even show interest, you better just go.
Exactly. But it looked like in that specific wave, she couldn't make it into the wave.
Yeah.
Yeah, so lost priority, 12 minutes to go. Well, these types of conditions, a major league by Leticia and holding on to priority.
One thing that is on Teresa's side is since they are these kind of windswept conditions, it's not zoning in on that one apex of the peak as much.
Correct.
So she can distance herself and give herself some opportunities.
Ooh,
oh, look at this guy.
Hey, just saw the news. Red Bull Cape Fear is on May 13th.
Scary.
Yeah.
Speaking
Stearns
of,
Bluff.
Yeah, speaking of Cape Fear, I mean, that is one of the scary. My pulse goes up just watching those waves, where they're just airdropping down step after step after step, and everything just comes over. It's amazing the barrels they make at the place.
Really heavy, and this kind of event happens once every few years, huh? The last one were at Hours at Sydney, right? Correct? Remember that?
Nope, wasn't keeping up with it.
Yeah.
But that's another super sketchy wave.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's quite a contrast to what we got going on today.
Contrary.
Yeah. So let's keep it here. So we've had an amazing 4 days of Combo L, 3 days of competition. This is the 4th day. And it's going to be finals day. We decided not to go all the way through Sunday, and here we have live action. Leticia on her backhand. So while first waves were on her front hand, she's now showing that she can navigate these lines.
Just
a
her
little
stance,
warbly.
the stance, and the flow she does, even not moving. It means a lot.
You see how she positions her hands. Her hands go forward of her feet, keeping that weight forward, keeping that board moving. And very subtle body movements, body positioning that makes a big difference. I love how she just uncoils those opened up shoulders.
You could call it extreme conditions. It's that extreme that you have to stay on the wave at a certain moment.
She's keeping it moving. It's not an easy task at this moment.
Yeah, 9 minutes and 50 seconds to go. We'll wait for this last score, but still Leticia is leading, and while Teresa Bonvalot is still. Oh, look at the replay. Teresa finally found the right. Beautiful wrapping turn.
That was a beautiful turn. I love the
little bit
open
of water.
shoulders.
And another cut back to the little bit power she has on that wave. Keeps pushing towards the inside, and that's where the wave lets her go.
I think that's going to be a nice score. She's really, that's putting her back in the game, I think.
Yeah, it was a proper turn outside. At 9 minutes to go, we might have a little spice up the heat.
Definitely. And so I think it's amazing how the magic of Zarautz, it just keeps producing. And it seems like, a lot of the days we've had almost like a little morning sickness, and then all of a sudden it starts picking up. So we could expect that the conditions will possibly even improve on this.
We can always expect and hope, but at the moment, the morning onshores are not our favorite, but the ladies are just really maxing whatever they can out of those, I would say, 1.5, 2 foot sets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, another small prediction is that as that tide goes out, we're at our dead high tide right now. As it starts to go out, we lose a little bit of water off of the sandbar. Hopefully there'll be some contours out in the sandbar, actually popping it up, stretching some of these waves out, giving a little bit more opportunity. So right now is probably some of the toughest conditions while the shoulders are really, really short.
Yeah. Well,
scores in for Leticia, 4.20. That was that right. And Teresa Bonvalot, 4.83. Definitely back in it. Now only needing a 5.05 to take over the lead.
And she's definitely capable of getting a score. And back to yesterday, we had such an action-packed day, and ended up the whole crew took us to a very old kind of diner, ate the traditional chuleton.
Oh, it's the food, the cuisine here is just amazing, and this place.
And everywhere you go here is beautiful, beautiful places, beautiful gastronomy, special and traditional and old and authentic. Everywhere you go is a little adventure.
Have you heard about the Gastronomical Society here in Basque Country?
Please do tell.
This is something very, very cool. I didn't go last time, but there was a huge thing here in Basque Country about the men being able to cook, not just the women. And so they have what they call a society where you go, you have the kitchen, you have all the stuff you need to cook, and you can pretty much rent a little kitchen to have your own dinner party. And you bring all your friends, you bring your chacoli, which is the nice white wine that they have here, or the sidra. You bring all your ingredients, you take over the kitchen, you enjoy with friends, you make food, but it's to keep the men also being able to cook, so it's a very balanced out
beautiful
culture, and you eat so well here. It's pretty much the most delicious place to eat in the whole world.
Yeah, well, both of you and I are surfers, but we're actually gaining weight. We're not really in shape at the moment after all the goodness of the country here.
We haven't gone in the
land.
water, have we?
We skate a little bit.
We talk about it a lot. Well, let's see what the situation is at the moment. Looked like Leticia was taking a look there. And we're going to keep our eye on that little priority box.
5 minutes,
She
30
stuck
seconds.
the nose over, but she hadn't really paddled, so it looks like she's going to... Oh. So Teresa's looking a little shuffled up. She threw her arms in the air. Teresa thinks that she should have priority. I think that's what's going on.
She's waiting to hear the call, but heat is still...
That's that fine line. It's like she stuck the nose over. She didn't really paddle. Teresa's wave, I mean, she had given a couple strokes, so it was a lot more clear to the priority judge. But for the moment, looks like Leticia's holding that priority still.
She just needs one wave. And yeah, heat is still wide open. Just 5.05. That's what Teresa needs to get to the finals.
Can you believe that 25 minutes just blew by? What happened? Time machine.
Yeah, we can watch surfing all day long.
We sure can. Well, unfortunately, we've only got a couple hours that we get to watch it today. We might have to go out and get into the action ourselves, as this is going to be Leticia. Wow. See, that's how unpredictable it is. It's even with the local knowledge, you just don't know what's going to happen. And now that's a very, very lucky thing for Teresa that she gets the, look at this guy, he's captured. So it's like we have this big open living room. Everyone walks by, says Egunon, that's good morning in Basque language, Euskera. Egunon. And yeah, it's like we're just at home here. People are in our living room.
Watching the surf. Yeah, like you said, that was a strange decision made by Leticia, as we see Anat.
You know what I
going
think
out.
she was going to do? It looked like she wanted to drop, fade back, get that wash, and then let the wall build up. But actually, the
then go
whole
left.
section just closed down on her. She read it well, though, and didn't waste any space and got herself back in the lineup. So smart by her, although now Teresa only needing a 5.05 with priority. Leticia's not in a safe place right now.
Not in a safe place, but the highest score of the heat was a 5.67, and you already know what can be done out there. So it's not an easy task, but still, she can make it happen.
Well, here's an example, 4.83. This is where the judges need to really look back and say, okay, we gave her a 4.83. What's going to be that little extra that she puts on that to get that 5.05, which is barely over?
Exactly that. There's that just little delicacy of a detail.
Vicente didn't stay out there very long, did he?
No, just a couple waves, huh?
That's all you need. Practice in half a heat.
2 minutes, 30 seconds to go in this heat, and Teresa is still looking for that 5.05. She had one decent score.
I'm seeing a lot more energy out there, looking at the waves now.
Out front, for sure. I saw a couple good waves ridden by Vicente and Maxime.
Well, while we wait for things to go down, oh, what are our boys rolling on in? There's all sorts of things going on down here. So much fun. I love this place so much. And it looks like a little bit of, nope. Looked like Leticia was kind of spinning around to take off possibly, but.
It's,
okay, so I kind of like this. Leticia, she's holding the scores, but since she is in second priority, she can feel around, and if she happens to luck up on something that actually produces a bigger score, she can make that job that Teresa's got a little bit larger and kind of secure her lead position.
still 1 minute, 20 seconds to go. Let's see something happen.
There is
Come on.
El Raton de Cataria. They call it the mouse of Guettari, because that big rock mountain looks like a mouse from far away. And it is on the outside point of the harbor of Guettari, which is some of the best seafood that you can eat here in the Basque
famous
country.
big wave spot.
Yes, there's also a huge left that comes off the outside of that thing when it's really, really pumping in the winter.
That was originally the traditional big wave spot of Europe in the 80s. Besides the
And
Canaries, of
in
course.
between where we're sitting and that, almost smack dab in the middle, there's this bay where it's a kind of a big wave beginner spot where it's kind of a soft, big left that comes in. The boys get comfortable on that. It's not. It's a bay, and so you're able to kind of sweep out around the outside. You're not going to take it on the head. Teresa Bonvalo's last effort. This needs to be a 5.05 if she wants to move in to the final. And wow.
Ooh, well, she did manage to push in 3 turns. The quality to be decided by the judges is a...
The judges are going to have a big think about that one. It's a very, very important wave, and I love her heat management and how she held that priority. So nice hit off that first one. Having to kind of get over this little double up lump, lets it build up. Gets a little tap there, reforms it front side. And unfortunately, that third turn's not going to be complete. What are you thinking?
I say nay.
Okay,
That's my call.
you're a wise man.
Not too many people tell me that. Just you.
You're a wise man. I just said it again just so you feel better. Here we go. We're looking at the scores coming in, and the judges are saying, So,
Looks like this will
it
not
looks like
suffice.
our Spanish surfer, Leticia Canales, will be in the final. Next heat is going to decide who's in the final with her. We're going to have Paulina Do, previous event winner, up against Anat Lelior from Israel. Exciting stuff going on here. Almost more exciting with these kind of conditions. It's just so much more challenging, so much more tricky.
Okay, going straight to commercials.
All right, so we're going to take a commercial break, and we will be back for our semifinal Heat 2 to decide who is in the final with our Spanish surfer, Leticia Canales. We'll be back.
All right.
All right, so that was quick.
That was a quick
And
one.
we've already started up our first heat. That was the end of Paulina Do's first wave. I'm going to head out of the booth, put Ben Mundy in my spot, and I'm going to
Mr.
go have
Mundy.
a talk with Leticia Canales, our first finalist of the women's event of this Cabreiroá Pro Zarautz Basque Country presented by Oakley and Egunon. Ben Mundy, good morning.
Here we go. The replay. First turn of Paulina Do. Connecting, well, it looks like Benway said, it picked up just a little bit. 2 turns outside, trying to connect to the inside section, and pushes through, trying to stay light on her feet. Now she changes direction, going white towards the short break, pumps her way, and yeah, finishes off clean to put a first score on the board. It's 5.0. Well, mid-range start, not too bad. And good morning, Mr. Ben Mundy.
Good morning, Artur. What a start to the day.
Well,
The local surfing to the final. Just what we want. Well, not your, not obviously your opponent, but for the people of Zarautz. So we've got one in the final, and another stacked heat here. Paulina Ado against the Israeli surfer, someone you know very, very a lot about. She's a really, really strong surfer, and she's really powerful.
Yeah.
Israel's kind of obviously best hope for surfing kind of superstardom, you would say?
she is truly our best and biggest hope. Although we have a full group of juniors and a few men running around Europe doing QSs, and they're at a good level, but the game is so complicated for the men. And Anat is truly, she has a true talent, desire. She invests all of her time. Big money to go and train everywhere. She just got back from a training camp with the legendary Andy King. So, she's full on, and here she is, semifinals. We see her on the middle, we caught the camera middle wave. She's looking for something to work with. Doesn't finish that.
Just made a
Last
mistake.
turn.
I'll tell you what, she's going to be after me. Kind of surfed a pretty good heat too. Pauline Addo, one of the most, well, experienced women surfers, not just here, but on the planet. And Pauline is, you know, she's the same. She's totally committed to the sport. She's got so much experience. And we see Pauline just starting to tap away on the right. She's got a 5-point ride to start off with. And now just starting to turn the screws on her opponent. She did this yesterday. She just built and built through the heat, and the pressure can tell. But yeah, Leilor. And I'll tell you what, Annette, her dad makes pretty good sandwiches as well. I'll say that. I mean, I know he's got other talents. As we see, Annette here comes off. Nice little turn in the pocket. Bit of squirt, bit of spray, and then it just goes a little bit fat. She's waiting here just to get, see at the back, Pauline whacking it, and then she didn't get much more. I mean, she just needed to finish this. It would have been at least been a score she could have posted up as something to improve on, but unfortunately she couldn't finish it. So,
Well, there must be a connection between the sandwich and the big spray.
it's a absolutely, you know, incontrovertible link. It's, you know, it's what drives us all.
Yeah, had Anat finished that last turn, could have been maybe the best score of the heat so far. And here you can see Pauline holding on to priority here with a 5.07 to 5 points. It's for this types of conditions, it's a good score.
Yeah, 2 5s. You know, well, we saw that last hit, didn't we? Where I think Letty Canales got through with a sub 10-point ride. So yeah, some heat total. So yeah, 2 5s are bankers today for sure.
Egunon.
Ooh, that's
Skerikasko.
maybe not the right decision by Paulina Du to take on late that last wave.
Yeah, I know she's lost priority, but what we haven't lost is Ben Way. He's down there talking to the hometown hero. Take it away, Ben.
Semi-final of the women's, Leticia Canales Bilbao representing Spain. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
So really tough conditions. We could see really short shoulders. Looks very hard to find the power spot. You had the local knowledge. You got right in there, and you were able to surf those waves that in a way that we didn't expect. We didn't expect more than one turn. We would see you get your line all the way through there. How are you feeling being here, having that local knowledge, and just getting into action?
I'm feeling really good. I was trying to get the most speed that I can, because it's really tough to get the good ones, and yeah, it's always hard to be in a heat with Teresa, because she's a really good surfer, and yeah, I'm happy to make another final here in Zarautz.
We're very excited for you. Beautiful surfing, beautiful turns in really, really tough conditions. She had taken the priority towards the end there, and you were in a very, very dangerous spot. And her last wave, had she finished her last turn, she could have turned it. The wave just went flat, and I think your country was giving you some love there.
Yeah, I was feel lucky there, because I made a big mistake, because I lost the prio when the last the last 10 minutes. So yeah, it was like nervous, because you know Teresa is a really good surfer, and she had the opportunity, and yeah, sometimes happen, no? I don't know, I have lucky.
You look connected to the ocean today, and we really hope you can do the same thing in the next one. Y finalmente, un mensaje a tus fans, a tus familiares y, bueno, tus paisanos.
Lo siento por el inglés, que estoy súper nerviosa. Ahora ha sido una manga súper complicada. Competir con Teresa siempre son mangas que muy difíciles, que las tengo que pensar muchísimo antes. Y nada, es que ricasco por estar ahí detrás apoyándome, mandándome mensajes. Y nada, ahora por la final.
Muchas gracias, Escaricasco. Y tenemos una española en el final. We'll get back to see who's with her in the finals. Get back to the live action. Back to you, Arthur, Ben. Thanks.
All right. Yeah.
Wow, thanks,
well,
Benny. The interview went longer than the actual heat, I reckon.
well, that's Ben right there.
Benny getting the deets. Yeah, she's happy. She's a mixture of kind of relieved and excited there. She knew it was a low-scoring heat, and she was happy just to squeeze through it. Meanwhile, we saw that one turn of Anat Leilor was a 5.57, and she didn't finish off that wave, but still got the better of the exchange between her and a French opponent. So in a good spot, considering she only did that one backhand turn out the back. The judges don't mind paying single scores or single turns as long as there's quality. So
Yeah.
the Israeli surfer, sort of not in the box seat, but she's got a strong score with just on 20 minutes to go.
Yeah, you just have to be clean, sharp, and put it in the right section, and the judges will definitely reward you. And it's interesting to see that interview. Letitia is clearly so excited.
Yeah, she is. She's she's right. She's just trying to keep it all in check, isn't she? She knows there's one more to go, on the cusp of something. Of course, on the other men's side of the draw, we've got Ruben Vittoria, another Zarautz local. So yeah, she knows how much it means, not only to herself but to everyone around. So, and she's got half an hour of the final to make it all count. And these two girls out here now trying to find who's going to join her in the final.
Yeah, well, only 1/3 of the heat has passed, and the heat is still wide open. Anat is holding on to her priority, and she only needs a 4.5, and she showed she's capable of getting those scores needed, trying to get away from Pauline at 20 minutes to go, looking for that right wave that's going to provide her what she needs. Let's see what happens. It looks like, oh yes, she's opting to go right, waiting at the other side of the bank, full wrap, cutting back, waiting for the wall to stand up, cuts back again to the power source of the wave, but that's not what she's looking for.
No, that wave just didn't work out. The trying to pick the right wave out here it's almost a lottery. It's super difficult. She pulled the trigger on that right, and it was just a little bit warm. There's Maxime Hussino, one of our semi-finalists. Just saw him warming up down the beach, and he looked like he was on form. There's Pauline on a nice looking left, 2 or 3 turns. So we'll see what she did out the back. She's not done yet, milking everything out. So yeah, Ado, of course, she won't give up. She'll just keep plugging away. Super experienced. See how we go.
I think the judges are going to reward her well on that because, like I said, you just need to find that simple textbook turn, put it up there, and she did 2 proper turns. So it might just be the best wave of the heat so far.
Yeah, 2 turns, nice and smooth, not much after it. So, yeah, as you say, judges are rewarding. They know how tough the conditions are. They've slided the scale up accordingly. So we'll see what she gets. How was dinner last night, mate? You went to the local?
Yeah, I just had about a chat about it with Ben Way. That chuleton is legendary, the biggest piece of steak I've ever seen. Beautiful old traditional place. And yeah, we missed you there.
I know. I was regretting my decision. You did the long paw, the famous side of long paw. Oh, I love that. Yeah, what a place.
It feels truly special to be connected to a long tradition.
Yeah, especially when you're pouring booze from a great height down your neck. I'm all for those traditions. As we see Anat, she's up on her backhand again. She's sticking to the right. She's got a section here, and she hits it. It's a good turn and a bit more. Nice little foam climb. Looking strong on her feet. She's looking calm and composed. And she might get a little bonus section down here. And she has. You can just finish this one off. So that's a well-surfed wave. She'll be happy with that. Bit of right and a left. Couple of turns. That last wave of Pauline was a 6.5 for those 2 turns. So that's a good comeback from Anat. She needed something.
Oh, as we said, it is the highest scoring wave of the heat up until this moment, where Anat is so smart deciding to go right. It's interesting for a goofy footer because most of them are looking for the left. But it looked like, yes, she found one and then went into the left.
Even a right, they go left.
You must know. But yes, beautiful execution. And it's a kind of a different wave comparing to that 6.5 as she did 2 top turns out the back. And I mean, Pauline and now Anat had a big, like a closeout off the top and then connected all the way with little snaps. And I'd say a strong, clear ending for the judges to show she completed the waves, that wave. So let's see what the judges say. How they're going to reward her is going to be interesting comparing to the last of Pauline.
Yeah, she needs a 6.01. Had the one turn at the back and then finished it off. So yeah, both these surfers just improving as the heat comes in. She gets a 6.9. So a huge score there. She gets the score she needs, and that makes her opponent's position a little bit harder. Addo now needing a 5.98. Yeah, so the judges rewarding that. Chris kind of backhand turn and then the finish. So it's been a case of every time Pauline sort of posts a marker, and that's been able to come back and just better it.
I just love those heats when it's a build-up, when, you know, a ping pong kind of a game, like yesterday's last heat, like by Nome and Pedro. They just played and raised the bar on every wave.
That's right. Yeah, they just start warming up, and here is the 6.9. I think most of the money's in this turn here because she hits the lip. I mean, she could have. She could have went harder, but you know she's playing
safe.
Bit of heat management, which is no bad thing. And then she just made it count, and that means that on the next wave she can start to, you know, ramp it up. She wants to improve on a 6.9 or a 5.57. She can. Even that one could have had a little bit more fizz, but I tell you what, it's great surfing. Just reading the wave really well, and a 6.9. No doubt, these are the type of waves she's probably grown up with in that you surf in
This
Israel.
is our bread and butter, my friend.
Short wind swell.
Chop.
So,
Directional changes non-stop.
So she'll be super comfortable in these tricky short period conditions. And she's going again. She's back on her backhand.
I like how she digs deep. She doesn't let any turn blow by easy. You know what I mean?
She's
pushes
powerful,
strong.
isn't she? Yeah, there's no tapping. She's got good style. Really impressed with the way she's gone about.
And exactly that, you know, coming off Israel in these types of conditions, it's hard to create a clean, strong style. Most of the standard Israeli surfer will be just a bunny hop kind of style and short turns.
Well, I bet.
So to create that solid...
To link your turns when there's waves are generated from a storm 40 metres away in a lake, I can imagine it's not that easy. But yeah, you're right. She's linked her turn. She's been working on a technique, as she said. You know, work with some coaches like Andy King, and the best sort of advice she can find just to improve her technique. And right now, it's working. She's about 13 minutes away from her finals. But I tell you what, she'll be nervous. Pauline Addo, she's been in this situation 100 times before and came out of it strong. She's experienced. She's determined. She's got priority. It's nowhere near done this semi-final just yet.
Oh yeah, nowadays to get to the CT, you must. We had a chat about it. You must have a full pack of skills, and those former city surfers, they have such a mixed bag of training, experience with them. So going back to the QS, you can really capitalize on all her muscle memory, talent, and put it into one place. Because to get to CT today it's not an easy fit.
No, not at all. And Pauline, she's, you know, I think she's had 7 or 8 years on the CT. You know, she's surfed against, you know, Steph Gilmore's, Tyler Wright's. You know, she's spent the last sort of better part of a decade surfing against the world's best surfers.
Yeah.
She's been on the cusp. She's been up and down. She's consistency on that jump up to the CT. She's made finals, but she's never won a CT event. But she wants to come back. Here she goes. Eyeing off her right, pulls the trigger. So that's a nice turn there. First turn, starting to get a mojo back. You can see here, staying busy. Waits for section. Still weaving. She want to finish this off. Puts a foot on the back of the board here. Still weaving. Looking for something at the end. Not many points in the last sort of 400 metres, but here she goes. And finishes. So that's Pauline Addo. It's good surfing, strong, stayed busy. Interesting to see where the judges put that. She needs a 5.98, and I think she might be there or thereabouts. It's going to be close.
Oh, well, I counted 3 turns, 2 proper turns on the outside. That first snap, released the fins a little bit, some water, and the second cutty. Well, I think it looks to me like the highest score of the event, calling it. Of course, it's not our job to decide the points, but it was a beautifully
Thank God.
ridden wave, huh?
Yeah, she ripped that. That, as you said, that first turn was really impressive, and she backed it up. So, yeah, she's put herself way right back in the heat. We just talked about her experience, and as you're saying, Tor knows more about judging than me. An 8.33, so a huge score.
Yes.
Huge score, and that just puts Laylor back in a position where now she needs a 7.94, so she needs a wave of that sort of level to get back in it. So Paulina Do, clutch surfing, under pressure, good wave selection, and absolutely nailed that wave. So pressure's back on the Israeli, inexperienced.
Well,
She's got that in her locker. It's not out of her talent-wise, but it is going to come down to nerves now. 10 minutes to go.
but
This is new
Anat,
territory.
with their ability, can definitely pull it off, because I'm looking at Paulina Do's beautiful, clean style, but once Anat puts in a proper turn, you know, if you compare a turn to a turn, maybe the judges will reward her more if she, you know, pushes more water out, goes more vertical and harder. That's what she needs to do right now to get a 7.94. And of course, that wave Paulina Do picked was, the wave itself was the best wave of the heat so far, and well-deserved. 8.33, read it well, rode it well, all the way to the beach. Finished off cleanly, so at 10 minutes to go, and not holding off to her priority. She needs to pick the right one, Ben.
Yeah, she does, and you're right. She's got her point of difference is her power and her aggression. She just needs a couple of pockets, a wave that allows her to show that, and she can, you know, she can get that score, because her last wave was 6.9, and that didn't give her many opportunities, but she still wrangled a, you know, like a 7-point ride. So, yep, 9 minutes to go. Time, you know, that's plenty of time too in these conditions. I know the sets aren't coming through that regularly, but they've all had plenty of opportunities, and
Yeah, it's an only
she's got priorities she can
2
choose.
surfer heat, so the field is clear for them to pick the right one, and Anat is, she has the priority, so the first wave she chooses is hers. So it's interesting times ahead. 9 minutes to go. Pauline is just trying to stay busy. Good turn out the back. Another little cutty on the flat part of the wave. Tries to stay safe close to the power source there. Just pushing her way through to the inside there, but I don't think this is going to improve her situation at 8 minutes, 30 seconds to go. Anat is all alone in the lineup.
Yeah,
Just
2 different approaches, isn't it? Pauline to staying busy, to sort of throw on the dice more. And that is waiting. She's got priority. She's waiting for that killer wave. I mean, that's smart. She needs a big score, so no use sort of catching those little ones. There's Ruben. He looks pretty calm, pretty comfortable. The local lad. He said he's dreamed of this day growing up, being on the finals day in his hometown.
And what a performance yesterday, Ben.
Ah, yeah, he's on fire. He had a really good event too in Indonesia recently. So he's on form. His backhand is lethal. So but right now we've got Pauline just starting to rack up these waves, and that's now had quite a long time out there waiting. It might start to play on her nerves now. She's sort of been waiting now for a good
Well,
10 minutes for this wave. You know, this one wave that counts.
Ben, I think it's been a very long time since you sat down here with Ben. I know you miss him, so I'm going to let him in and wait on the winner of the coming heat.
Oh, mate. Do whatever it takes.
You know I'm Doing
Whatever.
anything I can.
We're here for,
I'm all down for the cause.
mate. We're doubling down, and we've got Ruben there. He's looking, giving high fives, giving cheers to all his friends and family, and he looks pretty relaxed. As does this girl. She's got priority. She needs an 8-point ride, and right now she's just waiting for something to pop up in this sort of wind-torn Atlantic Ocean. Last wave was just a 2.93. She needs an 8. She knows she needs a good score. As Benny Way dons the headset after last night donning the DJ set.
How much fun can we
Smashed it out of
have
the
all
park.
at once?
Oh, well, a lot, as it turns out, Ben. A lot.
So I heard that you're not a vegetarian anymore. Did you take part in the big steak fest last night?
No.
Oh, you
no,
did
I
it?
missed out on that. No.
Oh, okay.
I hit the pinchos. I went sort of the bar crawl around Zarautz,
As one should.
and then off to bed nice and early.
Well, this has been a pretty spicy little heat here as one big score to be expected by previous winner, Paulina Do. She wants to take another one.
Yeah, and she's showing experience here. She's got the score. Now she's just sitting, even though she doesn't have priority, she's just sitting right on her opponent, getting right up in a grill. And
So
just to
Monday,
make-
you've been at this comp quite a bit. I could only find the results up to 2016. Has she won it more than twice?
Probably,
Okay.
I would say.
I like that
She's
answer.
won everything else. She's
Yeah.
won everything else in Europe. I'd be surprised she hasn't won here a few times.
I'll take it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I can't give you much more definitive answer than that. As we see, this is a right-hander. His first turn, really nice in the pocket. That's what generated an 8.33 from the start. And she starts biting that rail, just pushing harder than she had done all heat. And then back to the source. And then just put a weight on the tails. There's Max with his swallowtails. He loves the swallowtail, this kid. Always ridden those sort of wide swallowtails, double pivot. Perfect for his real powerful bottom end turns. And yeah, Maxime, I saw him have a bit of a free surf, looking strong, looking loose. It's going to be a big, big match up against the local guy, Ruben Vittoria. And we're going through it, so we're going to finish. We're going to have two winners, Ben. It's,
Yeah.
like, it's all come down to this.
Day's going to be over pretty soon, and we got here about an hour and a half ago, and it was looking like really meager conditions. Looked like there wasn't much on offer, and all of a sudden, the ocean's just coming alive, sun's coming out, just the magic of the Basque country. And yeah, speaking of Maxime's board, I mean, at that post-heat interview, the thing looks like a pretty old sled. It looks like it's just a magic board that's been used a million times. And it looks like the wax probably hasn't been changed on it since he got it. Got about 15 bars of wax worth of wax on there. And with all of the small wave technology and epoxies, and Channel Islands has all these spine tech and all these crazy things going on, it looks like a pretty standard issue poly. It must just be such a magic board that's like he's never going to get rid of it, and it almost probably doesn't want to try and switch. And the thing's been, I mean, it's an extension of his body.
Yeah, he's riding. You're right. He rode it in Portugal as well. Those black rails. Yeah, sometimes you just get those magic boards. No matter how hard you try and recreate it, same dimensions, same shaper, same everything, even with the machines. And it's, and your board pops out and it's just different. He's got that magic sled. He's on it. I saw actually Rubens too. He's on a 5.8. He's got a Pukas model. And looked pretty insane as well. But that's next heat right now. And that Laylaw, she's been waiting a long, long time. She hasn't pulled the trigger. I think she's been a bit guilty of not being busy enough. I know waiting for the right wave is important and does show maturity, but in these conditions, I don't know, she's let sort of 10, 12 minutes go by without even attempting a wave. And she's left herself with a pretty big mountain to climb now, just 2 minutes remaining.
we'd seen Teresa in the previous heat, holding priority, sort of same thing. A couple minutes went by. She took off on one, and immediately the thing just changed faces on her, and the priority went back to Leticia, and it was just. I'm sorry, I think it might have been Leticia who'd lost the priority, and so while that local knowledge, even just someone who should be able to pick off the best waves in the ocean, completely unpredictable out there. So, just as you're saying, it's not like you're going to see some bomb come through and go, okay, this is the one I want to use my priority on.
Yeah, exactly. It's almost impossible even when you're taking off what it's going to do. And Pauline's just thrown the dice a few more times, and they've come up crop. Look, she's all over her. She's gnarly. I mean, she's such a sweet-natured, lovely, positive person. But I tell you what, put her in that contest singlet, and she is absolutely gnarly. So here is, she's schooling her opponent a little bit, sitting right on top of her. Doesn't have priority, but still just putting a bit of pressure on her. 1 minute to go, and that needs something. She needs to pull. She can't just let this go. She had an amazing event, amazing surfing throughout the whole week, and now with 45 seconds to go, we'd just like to see if she gets one more chance to show us what she's got.
Yeah, this is the make it or break it moment for our young Israeli surfer. And wow, I mean, even if she doesn't make it through to the finals, she's done some amazing surfing and done a lot for her country. As this is going to be the last blast. Let's see what happens here. She's drawing it back. She needs to get over this lump. We know these things double up and kind of grow on the inside. She's reforming it backside, looking a little disinterested here.
Yep, she just finishes that. It's not going to be an 8. So Pauline Ado, once again, through to the final.
So we're going to have Spain on France.
Yep.
Exciting stuff here.
And those two, Leticia and Pauline, have battled many, many times. So another chapter in their rivalry. But yeah, unfortunately for Nats, this wave just never gave her an outside section. She needed to pull, a couple of those big turns. She's got in the locker, and it just fatted out. And you can see by letting her, she knows now this is not an 8. Still, she'd be really proud of her performance. Really proud of the way she surfed all week. I think I think her future is so bright, and she's going to take a lot from this week in Zarautz.
Wow, so we are moving right along, already into our men's division semifinal. And we've just heard the horn already. Ruben Vittori, a local surfer here, looking lively and just zipping and zapping through this one.
I mean, he is, I don't know how much sleep he got last night, but I'll tell you what, he looks like he's up for this. He's 100 turns per minute. As you said, zip and zap, real sort of liveliness about him, which is his trademark. His backhand's been his kind of go-to, but there on his forehand, he's got a good air game as well. And just within 30 seconds of the semi-final, he's up and into it, which will make him feel, I think, a lot more comfortable.
All right, well, let's break down this ride. Here he goes. Hooks it in the pocket on the kind of the upper half of that double up. Gets beneath it. He's able to find that kind of open shoulder. Still putting it on rail while actually just buying himself time for that inside to stand up. And he's just fitting in turns, almost a little semi-layback there. And look how he's just springing. Also got that epoxy new technology. It looks like the thing just is reacting to his every move. And
yeah,
so
you're right. I mean, that wave didn't have a lot for a mere mortal, but he did what? How many? 24 turns? Just every pocket, every ounce. He generated some spray. They weren't huge sort of turns, but there's a lot of them. And we see Maxime trying to respond. So he's got a bit more pace as well. This wave's better wave. He's zigzagging and fighting over it. Really strong, powerful surfing. Now he's going to try and finish it off. He's got a bit more whale than Ruben's wave. He's sort of digging a bit higher. He's not done. There's another one. So great surfing from both Max and Ruben. And that is small wave shredding at its finest. It's going to be really interesting. I'm going to think Max may have got the better of that exchange. But Ruben's
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you.
just seemed to be engaging his rail, had a few more sections. So the wave was just giving him a bit more push, you know, where Ruben was manufacturing his turns. Max had a bit of flow. Talk us through it, Benny.
All right, here we go. Climbs up on that upper half. Seeing what he's got up here. Just fitting right in the nook right there. Climbing up over. And this is where he really starts to lay it in. Full open shoulder. Stay in the back leg. Fades it back. Lets this thing stand up again. And then look at this. Just holding that rail. Nice vertical climb there. And it's like, no, I can still find some energy out of this thing. Just energy efficiency at its finest.
Yeah, exactly. That's the word. He was just maximised every single bit of that wave. Wasn't any sort of rails getting caught. There was no kind of sort of in between turns. He was just sort of, you know, given it was a 2 foot sort of fairly powerless wave, he just absolutely blasted it. So we'll see what Max got for that. Ruben's first wave. The judges taking their time on this, probably pretty important for in the context of the heat, how they set the scale. There's Anat. She's disappointed, but still got a smile. So
She is a very cool head.
yeah, there she is. She knows. She's happy with the performance, and you know, she'll learn from that. As you see, Max back up again. Oh, little scything sort of layback hack, and then cracks the fins, and he likes it. He's looking sharp, Max. Really
He's
is.
looking so precise this whole comp.
Yeah, he surfed since the round. He was in the very first rounds of this event, so no one surfed more heats than Max. He said yesterday that he doesn't mind that. He likes getting on a roll. The more heats he surfs, the better he feels. And right now he's showing that he's got some real zip. He looks really, really sharp in these sort of small conditions.
So we got the score in for our Spanish surfer, 5.83 for that opening ride. As we're seeing, Maxime's come in at a 7. So judges saying, you know what, see a little bit more power, holding that rail, and although the speed and the quickness of Ruben Vitoria, which kind of contrasts the styles, they're wanting to see more power drawn out of the waves and set into the board, into those turns. Look at this one, just drawing it back. I love how deep he goes in his bottom turns. Just hooks that one. He's so precise. This is that little layback jam. Just shoves the fins into that section right there while keeping engaged. And then just beautiful. Sets that thing down like butter.
Yeah, I think that's better than his first one. So he got a 7 for his first wave. I think he's backed it up. And
The judges didn't have to think too hard about it.
No, exactly, 7.83. So that wave there, a 7.83. So Max has just doubled down and backed up his score. But right now, we're going to go down to Arthur with Paul Inado for the post-heat interview. Take it away, Arthur.
Okay, the Cabreiroá Pro Zarautz presented by Oakley. I'm here with a semi-final winner, Paulina Do, former city surfer. Amazing performance. Tell us how it went with Anat, building it up.
Yeah, it was. The waves are pretty tricky. There's not many opportunities for big scores, but I feel like we had a good matchup, catching waves after waves and getting bigger scores. And she got a really good one. I think maybe 6.7, 6.9. So I was starting to feel a little bit of pressure, and lucky for me that good ride came, and I tried to match the criteria, try to have strong turns in my wave, and it paid off. So yeah, I'm really happy. And then at the end there wasn't many opportunities, so stoked to be in the final.
Well, yeah, go rest and enjoy the rest of the day. Looking forward to see you in the final.
Thank you.
Back to the booth, boys.
Yeah. Very stoked. Pauline Nadeau, defending champion, through to the final. She's already won a QS earlier on, a couple of weeks ago, down in Cabreiroá. And she's all about just accumulating points right now. The dream is to go on the CT. And she gets under 1,500 points here. She'll definitely rise up the rankings. Experienced veteran. She's totally committed to getting back on the CT, which she dropped off the last 2 years. So not done yet. A veteran of the sport, but still operating at the height of her powers, as is this man. A couple of judges gave him an 8, so I think fair enough. He absolutely strelt that wave. That means the Basque surfer has to respond.
Yeah, we'll look at this again and just see exactly why the judges rewarded him a little bit higher than his earlier one. It just seemed like a little better wave, more speed, higher tempo. That one was showing just some great variety and just showing control and confidence on that ride right there. 7.83. Looking at the surf this morning, I never would have expected half of the performance that I've seen.
No, and here he goes again. So just trying to get an open face. Can't quite get one yet, and kicks out. That wave's not going to beat his 7. But he's still got that zap. He's got that real electric, and Ruben's paddle for that. His backhand has been his strength throughout his career, and here he goes again on his backhand.
All right, so we know that at this tide, these lefts, if you pick off the right one, can really stand up. Look at that, just digging in. Think it's a little deep here. It looks like he's kind of in between kicking out or keeping it going. And there was nothing left for that one. So still a little bit deep. And then also with these windswept conditions, it's not stretching out like it was before.
No, he got one turn in, didn't he, out the back? Kind of pretty savage hack. But then the rest of it just went flat. He was digging, as you said. He was trying to generate some spray, but sort of more lateral turns, cutbacks. And yeah, Ruben, he needs big scores. He's kind of been boxed in by this strong start from the Reunion Island surfer. And he's got to come back with some big scores if he's going to live his dream of raising that trophy in front of his friends and family in Zarautz.
Yeah, so this thing never really stood up. That was the only real scoring turn there. From here, he's just kind of climbing and deciding where. Oh, he's got another little one right there. Okay, so he's got a couple turns. In between was a little bit more of some setup. But I think, if we remember our previous days, there were certain tides where it's just the rights were serving up the scores, and it kind of seems like it's one of those tides right now.
Yeah, I mean, Max has been sticking to the rights, and that's been paying off for him. I mean, it's pretty difficult out there. I think even taking off on a wave, you're not exactly sure what's going to happen. No one knows this bank or this beach better than this kid, so he'll know exactly where to stand. A 5.6 for that wave, so goes into his top 2, but he still needs, a 9 at the moment. He needs a couple of sort of scores above 7 to get back in this game.
Well, we know that he's capable of it. It's just going to be a matter of if they come in at the right time, and also as it's going to be up to him getting that priority back. And so Maxime, not necessarily needing the scores at the moment. And we see this pattern early on with some of our most exciting heats. The big scores have gone down in the very beginning.
Yeah, and here we go, Ruben. First turn strong in the pocket, sticking to the lefts. Unfortunately, that wave, I don't mind him going his back end. I think it's probably where he's got the most potential, but unfortunately, these waves just haven't quite opened up for him.
Yeah, we do know at the end of that left, there's kind of a deep spot that runs into a rip. And until the water kind of runs off of that sandbar, it's not going to start standing up. So I think it's a little early. We just had a 10:10 a.m. high tide. It's dropping until 4 o'clock this afternoon. I think it's a little early for that sandbar or that part of the bank to start working. And so we're just seeing that right hook in while on the contrary, the left is actually starting to bend away. And so you never want to be chasing down the section.
No, you're right. And Max, as Vicente Romero, just getting his wetsuit ready. Out the back, there's that strong turn he's got in his locker. He's such a good technician, is Ruben. And he's looking to get some more in, but those waves just aren't quite doing it for him. And
speaking of that rip, we could just see above it. It looks like a river on the end of that one. Okay, so gets over that one. That's a nice turn. Kind of kills his speed. And now having to get over this little fat spot. Stands up again here. And that's going to be it. And you can see just where his head is. There's like a ripping river right there. So we need some of that water to drain off the bar. Previous was a 2.67. Next one is not going to make it in his top two. So he needs to really turn things up and get a little bit better wave selection. And at this point, I would say kind of, I guess he's trying to kind of keep away from Maxime. And so the only way he can really run away is on those lefts, but it's just not really doing anything for him.
yeah, he's found some distance, Max. I mean, he's got that sort of the freedom that comes with having a couple of sevens off the bat. He's playing a more patient game. He's not too worried about his opponent. Trying to back up those big scores with the rights. Yeah, Ruben just staying busy. Now they start to move together a bit more. So he's pulled the trigger, what now, 5-6 times, Ruben. He's looking good. His technique looks great. He looks like he's in form. He just hasn't had the waves to make a difference. So but he's got 15 minutes to go, only halfway through the heat. We've got plenty of time and plenty of action in this heat. It's not over yet by any stretch. And Ruben chasing a 9. As we see Max on the right.
All right, Max has had some amazing wave selection today. Quick tap off that one. Up and over this section. It's a little similar to that earlier one. You can see that thing went a little bit flat. That one he was chasing down the whitewash, and now that right is starting to kind of run into a deep spot. So we're kind of in an in-between tide at the moment to where it's a little bit indecisive. It looks like the power is starting to drain off of this right as we watch this. Hits it. It's also that whitewash is just kind of bending in from a different direction. We might be getting kind of two different pulses of swell. But, yeah, looking a little bit full there. A little bit of backwash warble kind of coming off of that deep spot on the inside. So that wasn't going to make the job any harder for Ruben. Luckily, 3.33. And it looks like another wave has been ridden by Ruben. Let's see who can get back out there and get that priority. It looks like Maxime's spun.
Okay, so here goes the replay of that wave we saw. Wow, big turn off the back, hits the foam. Nice little foam climb. As he said, he's looking sharp. Just these waves aren't getting any opportunities. He might have to change his strategy because the lefts just aren't working. You know, he's staying busy. He's doing everything right, but the waves. I suppose the other way you go about it, you just keep trying, you keep throwing your hat in the ring. Eventually, you're going to hope a wave's going to come, but he still needs some big scores. So, you know, those sort of weak lefts at the moment just aren't working.
Yeah, up until now. Well, I like the direction he's going. He's going back into the area of the sandbar that has paid off the big scores this morning. And now, well, Maxime hasn't showed too much interest in him. He's starting to kind of hunt him down.
Yeah, tactics haven't played such a role, but they will as that time ticks down. A final placing is on the line, so they'll do whatever it takes.
Another thing that Ruben might be doing is kind of taking him off of the sandbar. And if he sells him something, which will probably be a right if it's that side of the sandbar, he'll gain a lot of distance. He'll be able to move back to the apex of the peak. So there's a couple things that can go on here. And, wow, a left off of that side right there.
Oh.
Just so precise, so powerful.
Wow, that's 3 big turns already. I think Ruben is going to find himself in a whole heap of pain pretty soon, because Max is just absolutely picking the right waves and belting them. So not as long as those sort of rights, but they were 3 big turns, a lot of spray. He's looking really, really solid.
All right, so we're going to look at the replay. Look, just coming so deep off of that one, just hooks it right under the lip. Timing that one perfectly on what would normally just be a climb. He actually threw some spray off of that thing, was able to redirect. He was already holding a 7.83 and 7.0. We'll see if it makes it up into those top 2, but either way, just making a statement, and also just with the water that he's throwing, kind of trying to scare off his opponent probably.
Yeah, well, he would have been watching that from behind and seeing those fins flash through the back, the spray drawing out, and he was already in a pretty difficult position, and it's about to get even more difficult. So a huge number dropping there, an 8.40 for Max. So Ruben now in combination situation. He now needs 2 scores above the 8-point range each. So Max is absolutely schooling this heat as it stands. He's been building the 7, then got a 7.83, then got an 8.4. So it's only heading in one direction, and he's looking super, super strong.
Yeah, this is just an amazing performance by Maxime, and it's expected to see him perform when you've got the really fun and spelled out conditions that we had of our earlier days. But today, I mean, it's just showing his connection with the ocean, being able to find all the perfect little nooks and crannies and draw this power out of the wave, and just the spray flying.
Yeah, as you said, a lot of spray, a lot of drive on those small waves. Here's Ruben on his right. Oh, and he's just made a mistake. The pressure starting to tell. You're in a combination situation. You've got to go big. It's hard just to play your normal game. The heat situation dictates the way you're going to react, and he knows he needs some big scores, and that means you start pushing it more than you probably would, and just comes unstuck on this. Just hasn't had the waves to Max. Max has read the lineup a lot better. Ruben's been busy and keeps trying. I mean, the fact that he's actually moving on that wave is a miracle in itself. In one big section, he should have nailed that, and he didn't.
I think it's a little bit of the nerves getting to him of knowing that he needs a combination, and just a little bit of panic button going on. I think also is a majority of the exchanges, Maxime's been the one holding priority. So not only has he had great wave selection, he's also had the power of choosing what he wants. And Ruben's kind of having to clean up the crumbs.
Yeah, that's right. He's just controlled the heat, hasn't he? He's got the early scores on the board, and then just started to build on it, holding priority, using it really well. So he's just so far kind of had a faultless performance, no mistakes, and incredible surfing. Here he goes again. That wave.
Really having to search around on
yeah,
that
he
one.
was looking, wasn't he? So Ruben, first turn, he's got that backhand swoop, it's incredible. And he just needs to finish this off. It's a lot of pumping, a lot of bouncing, which the judges don't like. You just sense he's starting to get frustrated with the waves just not working out. The first turn, I thought there too had a bit more opportunity. He could have opened up a little bit more. So he needs to get, well, he needs some big scores, basically. He needs 2 of them.
Yeah, and if we look at that approach of that 8.4 of Maxime, I mean, he only used the first half. Used all the juiciest part of the wave, and rather than trying to really link it up and stretch it out, he just got it all done in one spot. And as you were saying, I think Ruben could have tightened up a little bit and just used that first half, and also saved himself a little bit of a paddle, gotten out into the lineup and set him up. They are thinking about it, though.
Yeah, it was a good wave. He got 3 turns out the back, which is not easy. I think the second turn especially had a lot of sort of power and spray, so there's a good chance he'll make his life a little bit easier. But I don't think it's going to be the big score he needs to, you know, get him right back in this. See Vicente Romero and Nomi. He's pumped up.
Yeah, Nomi just coolest head in the scene. He was charged up at the party last night. I'm like, hey, Nomi, you want to head home? He's like, no, I'm gonna keep the party going all the way into the semifinals, and that's sometimes that's the way he works best.
Yeah, he just loves to suck everything out of life. You know, he's not going to go all change the way he approaches. You know, his way, and it works for him. You can see by his massive smile, and he's been incredible surfing during the week that it's absolutely working. So, yeah, great to see. And then out the back again. Oh, this is going to be big. Kicks the tail out. Maxine Houston just looking really sort of calm and composed. Now he's looking for one last section. Let's go left to right. Goes nowhere. Even he's starting to get a little bit frustrated with these waves. Just not offering any sort of juicy sections. But he's had plenty of juice, hasn't he? He's actually smashed his heat so far. Really comfortable as it stands. Ruben Vittoria, the local hero, he needs to do something, and he needs to do something pretty quick.
Yeah, because we're starting to see that last score of his, the one where he had gotten a couple of turns on the outside, and it's just going to come in a dash, possibly a dash higher than his backup. Not anywhere close to what he needs at this moment, and now time's really going to probably get into his head. 6 minutes remaining.
Yeah, he's in a world of pain. Not the way he would have thought about this last night, how he wanted this heat to go. Not giving up, though. He'll never give up. So he goes again. Just these waves just allowing him any sort of extension. Just a lot of quick snaps, quick stabs. And, you know, he's just been getting 5s all day. I think that's his 10th wave he's ridden. So none of them have been, you know, anywhere near Max's best wave. So hard to say what's gone wrong here. Sometimes the ocean just doesn't deliver.
There's Nomi going without a leash again, I think. He's just, sometimes without a leash, you can't fall. And so you actually just, you end up contorting yourself into positions to where you don't get away from your board. And it also just shows the whole confidence and the connection to your equipment. So
yeah, I think too, like, Nomi's in the past had, you know, he'll see a section, he'll just go big, even when it doesn't absolutely require it. His general philosophy is just to go big or go home. I think maybe that lack of leg rope just makes you think about it. You know, you don't, a bit more controlled, not safe so much, but just a bit more the right turn at the right time. And well,
and there's also, I mean, there's the element of drag.
And he might like body surfing. Maybe he just wants to have a bit of body surfing, you know, in his heats. You know, gets a bit bored.
We saw him lose his board yesterday. It was kind of when we had a little bit more push, and it just took his board, especially with those epoxy. They just ping pong ball on top of the water, and so he had to chase it down a little bit. Got his equipment back, but here we go. We're going to watch another attempt. This looks like his last score was a 4.53. Didn't move into his top 2, and didn't help his effort at all. Here we go. So just keep him busy. I like how he's just kind of gambling. That was a nice turn. I like he's just gambling and just testing things out, but I think it's also kind of a nervousness at the same time.
Yeah, he's gambling, but he must know that every time he's done this, he's had the same result. And, you know, he's now had he's had like 8 or 9 waves that have all done the same thing. You think at some stage you've got to go, well, this isn't working, you know what I mean? This plan is not not working. But you know what? He probably had a strategy at the start. Yeah, the conditions are really marginal. He would have said with his coach and brain trust, I'm just going to get as many waves as I can. Eventually one's going to come good. Just unfortunately, the grommets are heading out there. Ready for a Schraub. Love and life.
Yep, seeing the boots on everyone isn't making me think that it's all that warm out there.
No,
Well,
it's not.
I know we're gonna have an early day today, so I was hoping to get out and get that juicy incoming tide that I've been loving. Although it's not gonna be until about probably be just right smack dab when we're having our awards ceremony, so that probably won't happen. But I'm liking it's nice and sunny out there. A lot more things to do here, and we're gonna have live music. We have a lot of great events on hand.
What do we got? What's on, Benny? What?
Well, you know what? Today we have Sunset Suns, which is a pretty well-known band that are here.
Hossiger Bass Boys.
DJ Eddie Mai, Lemmy River, Silence. We're going to have a BMX exhibition at the skate park. We'll also have a beach cleaning, which I don't think there's anything to pick up. It's such a beautiful, clean beach. I mean, I haven't seen one speck of trash on this beach. There's trash bins all over the place. They're really good about splitting up the plastics from the papers and the organic waste. I mean, this place is just amazing. What do you think about the self-cleaning bathrooms?
I like them until you get caught. When you ever been caught by one of them?
No, heard about that.
Yeah, that's not good. I'll tell you that. Tell you that for nothing.
Since that wasn't going to really produce a score, we could just keep talking. The bathrooms are self-flushing, and then they have these little sprinkler heads where it completely rinses out the whole bathroom after every use. But if you don't close the door before the person behind you, it doesn't flush. So
Yeah, no, that's a rest. Yeah, you got to know about that.
a couple people have learned the hard way.
45 seconds. Ruben, understandably disappointed. He would have went to bed last night thinking about all the possibilities, all the permutations, but at the end of the day, he hasn't even been able to lay a glove on Maxime.
Probably also buzzing from his performance yesterday.
Yeah, he was so stoked, and he'll be absolutely gutted at the moment. But on reflection, he'll think that he knows he's at this elite level. He's one of Europe's, I reckon, best surfers, and which is no small thing. The amount of talent coming out of these areas. So, unfortunately, though, this case he's fallen short. So he'll have to think about that. Right now, though, we're going to go to a commercial break, and we'll be right back after this.
Our surfers in the water just heard the horn. Vicente Romero for Spain, Nomi Mignot for France. And this is going to be some exciting stuff out there. I like that picture of Nomi. He had short hair. It looks about 15 years ago. I have to get an updated shot of him. 29 minutes and 42 seconds. So we got 30-minute semifinals. And this is going to decide who is in the final with Maxime Husseneau as Nomi Mignot. In Nomi style, always opening up right after the horn, making sure he gets a score, and still riding that textured bottom, ping-pong bottom board that he's been using the whole time. He also took to Japan, and it's been working well for him. And it's been working well for me is having Arthur on my right-hand side. Actually, no, I like you better on the left-hand side.
Any side. Anyways, yeah, great, dynamical, powerful surfing by Nomi. We watched that heat yesterday, the last heat of the day. And you think, does he train?
He doesn't seem like the kind of guy that would train, but he seems like he surfs a whole lot.
And Vicente trying to create some speed. Beautiful snap there, cuts back, looking for that inside magic to open up for him and get the first score on the board. Still pushing inside, but no, it lets him go. And yeah, speaking about training, and I went out to give Anat a little hug, and congrats on a great performance. And there's such a big force behind her, you know, besides her family. We have a really professional trainer. Before the Andy King days, Anat has trained for 4. Oh, look at the.
So we're just reflecting back on what had happened in the beginning of this exchange. We got 1 score owed to each of our riders. And you know what I love is I love seeing goofy footers against the regular footers.
All right.
And you get to see the different approach and see which stance it's favoring due to the tidal conditions, the direction of swell. We know that we've had a lot of our high tide heats with the high scores on the rights. As that tide goes out, we've seen the scores change over to the lefts. And we haven't seen the left performing as well this time, at least this morning in the competition.
Well, it has something to do with the onshore wind just changing the face of the wave, and the directional changes. You know, there were waves, guys going right, and then sending it at the inside on the left. So
now that I think about it, I'm not afraid to eat my words because I do that a lot. Maxime actually had one of his highest scores on the left, but it happened to just be lucky because we didn't see many of those. Most of those scores are made on rights. We're looking at those scores. Nomi's going to start it up with a 4.50. There is one happy Maxime Husseneau, and he should be because he is going to be in the water in just a little while with one of these surfers out here.
100%, and while the surfers are waiting, scouring the lineup for that next wave, talking about the training issue, that going back to Anat, it's not an easy mission to get to this kind of result. And she had trained for 4 years with one local good friend of mine who's a hero to me. His name is Ben Salfati, and he's leading the whole group of young kids in Israel now.
Okay, let's look at this replay. Nice hit off that one. Climbs it up, sticking that nose way up and out. I mean, this is a really flat wave, but he's still just hooking, linking up on that energy, looking lively. Looking as lively as he was at the party last night. He's just keeping it rocking. I love it. 25 minutes and 30 seconds.
Dynamic in and out of the water.
Yep, exactly. And we need to get an updated photo of him. But here we go. Vicente Romero.
I like it, the difference of style. Vicente is he's a strong surfer, but kind of light-footed, as you see him, you see his stance standing on the wave.
Well, yesterday, his Vicente's backside attack was just unstoppable. But today, with the different conditions, we don't have those spots standing up. We don't have as many critical sections to really complement that backside attack. It's a whole different game today, so it's gonna switch things up a little bit, and we're gonna see what happens as we just saw Vicente just taking a sniff there. He was under the priority, had the freedom to roam around, while Nomi's playing it cool. Got one decent score, 4.50. I'm sure that will become a backup or possibly a throwaway at some point. And Ruben Vitoria, really amazing performance, and I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot more of him in the future.
Well, we're well into the finals day, and just trying to recollect some waves of all the heats, and there's always one wave that makes a difference. First women's heat, there was one wave that made the difference, and the second one, and same as for Maxime that won that heat. There comes one wave that makes the whole difference.
And there's in an entire day of competition, there's also one wave that just sticks in your head. For me, it would be that last one of Nomi yesterday, which was the make it or break it, where he had held priority and just whipped it out. That's the reason we're seeing him in this heat this morning.
Here he goes again. Kind of behind the foam. Going to Vicente's. Looks like he's connecting all the way to the inside. We'll wait to see the replay on that wave. see if he did any damage on the outside.
Not looking
But
like
Nomi
the
still
usual
going.
Vicente style, and I think it's just because of the conditions. Nomi having to get over this double up, buying himself a chance to get through and get a finish. Look how he got his tail out on fins out on nothing of a wave.
It's technique with technology. That's what happens.
You're speaking my language. Can you say that again?
Tech and tech.
No, I want to hear it the same way you said it the first time.
It was first of all, how did
Do I have to say for myself, technique and technology? It was beautiful.
How did he go through that section? It was completely flat.
Well, let's look at this one. Speaking of completely flat, looks Vicente is just like, I got to make something happen here. I'm going to start driving. And just disappointed with what was thrown at him. He knew he wasn't going to be able to lay into it the same. And
Oh, yeah. It looks like Nomi.
But Vicente, okay, that's the other thing. Is Vicente saw that he didn't have the section that he wanted, and since he was still halfway out, he's back out there now with priority. So
Take out, maintain priority, but still, we're going to see a score drop for Nomi. Well, he's in the lead with one score of 4.5, so he's going to, for sure, he's going to increase his lead at the moment. So here it goes, 3.83 with that last bash on the inside, which was beautiful.
yeah, I mean, not much of a wave, but had he not zapped that little end section, he probably wouldn't have gotten the same score. Now Vicente looking livelier, better wave selection. Showing a little bit more poise, a little bit more interest. That was a nice turn right there.
Proper.
Drawing it back. Kind of semi between, do I want to keep it going? And might as well. That's where it gets shallow and you got a chance to stamp it down. All right, so now we're talking. Now the game is on.
Well, we talked about that one wave filtering through, and I don't think there was a better wave. Let's not talk about the performance, just the wave as it broke and what it offered. Until now, 9 minutes, this is the best wave so far.
And holding that priority is very, very, he used it right at the right moment. And we are going to take a check at, wait a second. Okay, just the ending bash right there, but beautiful. Fins out, getting up on the front foot.
And on the outside, he managed to do like one first snappy little turn with just
He had
releasing
kind
the
of like
fins.
the laid back little jam too. So I think the judges are going to like that one. He was only needing a 5.0, and now Nomi might have to turn up the heat. But Nomi making sure he gets himself out there, has the priority. And we haven't seen what Nomi can do on a wave of that quality yet. So we'll see what happens as...
Well, I have. I've seen him in Israel, and he's just a master in creating something out of nothing.
His frontside reverse is pretty disgusting as well. So we'll see how that works out. Vicente just clearing that requirement. So change in situation, 5.50 now. Nomi needing a 4.34. And that's just that. I think that's that dimple bottom just gliding over nothing.
Exactly this. How did he go through this flat straight? It was straight flat.
And Nomi on it again. Not the best finish. We didn't see what happened on the beginning, but he was only needing a 4.34. So as we see the replay, the beginning of that ride, we will know what had happened. And can't see Vicente on the screen right now, but Vicente's probably going to get that first priority. I can't tell. Yeah, not only a few board lengths ahead of Nomi right now, but Vicente will end up getting priority. And we're seeing a score come in now. No, 1.57. So we are going to send it down to Mr. Mundy and the winner of that last one, Maxime Husseneau.
Mate, you just seem to get better and better every wave. How good is it to each wave get bigger scores?
Yeah, I think the first wave you kind of want to just feel the waves and feel the speed and is it pushing or not, and just get in a rhythm. And I like to start good and try to improve all the time, and from there I feel it's easier. You just try to keep choosing the waves that a little bit better than what you got before. So I think that was the key for me, is just try to improve my wave selection from my first wave. So it was cool.
And mate, you're in the final. I mean, how important is this win? You know, it's been a while since a win. How much is actually getting to the final, but, you know, making that win count?
Yeah, it's been a while. I think I got only 1 or 2 QS wins, so I've been there for like 8 years. I'm one of the older guys, you know. I'm still really young. I'm only 26, but like I'm really old compared to all the young guys. So definitely get a win. Just give you like a big confidence, and coming back from my injury, it's just the best. Like if I can get the win, that would be insane, you know. Just.
Well, mate, you've been absolutely ripping. You're looking strong, looking powerful. So, mate, congratulations. I'll go and rest up, and let's see you in the final.
Thank you, guys, and see you there.
There's Max. He's fired up, and he's on the way. All the best. Back to you guys.
Right arm Monday. So here we go. Vicente Romero about to see another score. Something had gone down during that interview. As we see Nomi Mignot answering back after that 4.34. Getting a couple on the outside. Now we're building up some speed. Nice tap there.
Oh.
And he keeps his hand on the tail, keeps that board with him. He had gotten a few on the outside, but we're not sure if it's going to be the 4.34 that he was looking for. And now that I look at it, there was a score to be worked out for Vicente, so we don't even know if that 4.34 is relevant. We'll see what happens here in just a moment.
But yeah, those rights rewarded all of today's surfers with, I think, with their best waves. So let's see what the judges say about that last wave of Nome, because we didn't see the whole wave from the start. At 16 minutes 40 seconds to go.
How good is this Cabreiroá water?
Beautiful, love it. They keep us hydrated. They take care of us. Natural springs. Well, looks like a decent sized wave for today's conditions. First snap.
Okay, quick hit. I love his backside body positioning, his leg movement, the way he twists his body. At certain points of his turn, it's Rob Machado-esque. Remember how Rob used to throw his legs up behind his head? But Vicente's just got his own unique style to that. That was one of the better lefts that we've seen.
Good job. Taking it all the way to the beach. Yeah, like you said, kind of reminding that Rob Machado light pocket turn with no speed, just whip the board and get some energy, fly some water out to the air, yeah.
All right, so this is an important exchange. While they think about that, Nomi's he's not going to stop. Gets a quick hit on this one.
He's looking for something special.
And Vicente must... Okay, they were seeing the priority off. So Vicente either took another wave. No, he's out there. He's out in the back where we can't see him. And so still working on the last two of blue and one of red, so we don't know what's going on.
See all the locals pass by here, very stoked, making their way to the judges area, the contest area. So the beach and crowd is filling up, and everybody's awaiting.
This is too much fun. I love when people can just walk into the live booth and just cruise into the living room. We're open for business. Yeah, we're friendly. All right, so we're going to slightly 4.4 for Nomi's previous. Wow. Okay, temporarily changing situation. We don't know what's coming in for Vicente, but it is going to change it back. So red will go back to the lead, 6.13, holding priority. Nomi now in second, needing a 7.13. So what's going to need to happen is, well, at 14 minutes, I mean, we still got time to chip away and start working. This is a replay of that 4.40. Drawing it back, it's just kind of a flat shoulder. So had it stood up a little bit earlier, he would have been able to get a little more critical. That one was a little better, and that's where he had made the mistake. So
mistimed it that last turn, and Doug Israel dove down to the water.
He could have slightly improved by finishing that last one, but either way, Vicente Romero with that last ride would have just changed it around anyway. So
yeah, I love that ping pong.
Time to reset here as we have blue and red split in the peak. We're going to keep it on red right now. And Nomi looking a lot more lively on this one. Big hit on that. Finally finds a left that he's been looking for. And he's
Strong,
He's got
quick whips.
a little bit of a shoulder claim on that one. He's feeling good. Looking at Vicente's kick out, I don't expect that was as good of a wave. We'll see what happens because we did have to take the camera off of him.
Let's just wait because I saw a nice real setup, and then the camera went to the left. So let's just watch the replay of Vicente going right. Okay, that wasn't what I thought it would be. Just 2 foam climbs. Nothing special there. Keeps going, looking for a little surprise on the inside and lets it go. So yeah, like you said.
So this was a very an important exchange, a very important wave for Nomi. And Nomi's got some pep in his paddle. He might actually be able to get back out and get priority quicker than Vicente. Looks like Vicente rode that pretty far in.
Question is if the judges are going to reward him with a 7.13. Well, he did
bank off that section. That was it was a climb, but he did flare the fins out. Got a little finish, so it was basically those last 2 that'll get the score on. We're seeing it come in, 5.43. Still in second. Now looking at 6.20. That's a little bit more reasonable number to hear that you need. So that can help help the nerves for Nomi at least.
If
Now
anyone
12
can,
minutes remaining.
If anyone can pull it off, it's the energy he has under his feet and the dimple golf technology under his
You
board.
really got to go into the competitors area and take that.
I
Take
gotta
a look
go
at
check
It's
it out,
pretty amazing.
definitely.
So 11 minutes and 30 seconds remaining. Vicente Romero still in the lead, total of 11.63. Nomi just reducing his requirement after that last one, 6.20, with a lot of time on the hand. And we saw by the size of that left that Nomi got, seems like the... so Nomi asking for time now. No watch, no leash. He's just a free cruiser.
Free surfer with a contest trashy.
Yep. But yeah, I think we're getting a little more favorable tide as we're watching the size increase.
Yeah. There we do see the push, a bit more size, allowing the surfers to express themselves.
Still lumpy and chunky, but it's actually got some fun personality to it, and make it a little more exciting to watch as they have to just link and connect the dots and find the little power points through the ride.
Well, as the whole region, the waves have their beautiful personality, as you say. Changing every day and every moment.
Just like Ben Way. Unpredictable and chunky and bumpy. 10 minutes and 20 seconds. First priority is with Vicente Romero, and it looks like he's starting to kind of snuggle up to his opponent.
Yeah, last third part of the heat. Things are heating up for sure. Semifinal number 2 of the Cabreiroá Pro Zarautz presented by Oakley here. We're at finals day, Ben?
Yeah, and I'm spinning out saying that we have 10 minutes before our women's final. Day's almost over, and we've just started. I want more.
Well, you're going to keep going.
You know what? I think we are going to have an expression session at some point today. So we get a little more something. But here we go, Vicente looking lively. Love how he digs into that one. Lays. That second one was not complete, and now passing that priority to Nomi. That ride didn't work out the way Vicente was hoping it would.
One of the best single maneuvers I've seen this far today.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely going to get a score for that one maneuver. But 5.50, 6.13.
Had he finished that turn, it could have been an interesting score.
Yeah, a little bit kind of converging whitewash there. Just kind of nudged him out the back. So I don't see him really making a bigger job for Nomi at the moment after that last one. Slightly going to improve possibly on his backup or match. His highest score was a 6.13. So Nomi's going to be looking for something similar, but now holding priority, which is a huge advantage.
Yes, at the last minutes, well, not last minutes, but still 9 minutes to go, but it's getting to the end of it, holding on to priority. And
so he's raised his requirement to 6.57. Still nothing to freak out about.
So he did improve, huh? One single maneuver.
Yep.
Yeah.
You've got a good eye.
Thank you, sir. At least one.
And I'm not just saying hi in an Australian accent. Okay, so 8 minutes and 10 seconds. First priorities with blue. I'm getting silly. The sun's coming out. I'm feeling good. Nomi going, nope, that's not the one.
Yeah, but
Save ourselves some time. Vicente went. Quick exchange. Priority will probably go back to Nomi. So let's just pretend nothing happened right there.
Let's see, because there's Vicente's paddling full force.
Vicente was farther out. He gets the priority.
Yeah. But I trust Nomi to keep staying busy. He's not strategizing, waiting for that one wave to come in. He's looking for everything. Everything he can stand up on and push himself. And those beautiful snaps out of nowhere, going frontside isn't easy in these conditions, huh?
Well, earlier on, I mean, he was really just needing to just kind of inch up and improve his situation. Wow. Vicente
Outside.
using that little whitewash poof to get over the double up. This thing's pretty lateral, not showing a lot of interest. Now Nomi's got a chance. But what I was going to say is, I mean, while Nomi was just needing to kind of have a little bit wetter wave selection and just build up, now I think he's going to need to do a combo and really give us one of those, show us his aerial game to give us a little mix of maneuvers, mix the progressive with the traditional, and he could lock that down. Well, I can't remember what his last score was yesterday. Do you recall? Was it in the 8s?
I think 8-6 something, yeah.
Okay.
And I watched it. I watched it with my own eyes, not watching a screen, and every turn on that wave, I remember 4-wave turn.
So he was calling, Nomi's calling for situation there. It's kind of going to be music to his ears to hear that Vicente's last couple waves were throwaways.
Yeah, he wants to hear that for sure. But Nomi is looking for, just get him the right section to punt. Good first opening turn. And it's so quick. 3 turns on the outside, then he starts connecting. All right, well, any little lip in front of him, he hits it, but didn't finish that last one. So I think he's going to improve with it. Maybe he's going to improve the 4.5 because there were multiple turns there on the outside.
That would be the most likely. So he still, I don't think it's going to be the 6.57 he was looking. Just like too many hiccups in between the maneuvers. But I like that first slam on the section.
This one.
Banks off that one. Here he is setting up.
Good
Throws a little
transition.
spray. You saw it. He kind of, I think it kind of flexed out his board there in a second. It almost kind of killed the speed and then was able to pop out, keep it going.
Kind of
calling in
disappointed
the
with himself on the last turn.
Well, I don't get to call it anymore. Now we're seeing what the judges are actually giving it. So
Looks like
very close. So by 0.07, he increases. That's not going to chisel away that 6.57. And now Vicente holding priority.
Yeah. Less than 5 minutes to go. That's Vicente is in a good position while Nomi is paddling back up to the lineup. At the last minutes of this heat, Vicente is looking pretty relaxed. And at 4:20 to go, we hope to see some more action going towards the boys.
There's our finalists right in the water in the shore break.
So we're going straight into the finals.
Yep, straight into the finals for the women's. We're going to do a little heat recap where we're getting down to the dying moments. Looks like we don't have any waves on hand at the moment. And so this is how things started out. Vicente Romero. You know what? That might have been... Was that the 6.13?
That was, yes. Yeah, that's the best wave. Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna take a look at the best 4 waves. So I figure this was either the 6.17 Or 5.87. That's
Yeah,
pretty
the
sure that it would have to be one of those two.
Yeah, the 587 was the single maneuver.
Oh, you're right. Thank you. This is the 5.43 for Nomi. Definitely one of the bigger waves. It's a pretty nice wave. And
Here goes that. Yep.
yeah,
587 on that one.
carved a little fin drift. And so down to 3 minutes. First priority now red.
487 on that one.
4.57.
457. Yes, sorry. Yeah.
It's a huge difference. No, I'm just kidding. So here we go, 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and yeah, I think we'll probably see Nomi just going for a big old blast. That's pretty much his last option at this moment. 6.57, and we know how far in between the really high-scoring potential waves are coming in. So in two minutes, should Nomi make a bad wave selection, he's not going to have the time to get out and get another one that counts. So he's going to have to just be patient and pick one off.
Well, he did
Look
ride
at him.
another
He's
one.
calling to King Neptune.
Yeah, he did ride one score of a 0.5, which is a throwaway clearly. So he does need something, some kind of energy sent in his direction.
Vicente is a super, super nice guy, but I think we're going to see him have to kind of get a little more vicious at the
Show
end
his
here,
teeth.
holding that priority, showing his teeth, exactly.
Yeah, 1 minute, 30 seconds to go. And Vicente holding on, staying close to Nomi. You have not much choice there, just to play that game. Trying to stay behind Nomi. But yeah, he looks pretty calm. Just staying that right distance at 1 minute, 10 seconds to go.
We're seeing a little bump, a little lump building out there. Vicente's looking at it. And Vicente might just let it drain off. Unfortunately, there's not even anything out there. Oh, here we go.
Yep.
So I was going to say there wasn't anything out there for Nomi to sell him on, but this one, it was halfway between a sail and just looking out that it happened to be a pretty decent wave. 5.87, 6.13 is what Vicente's holding at the moment. Not sure it'll be better than that, but I love the effort that he's putting here. And now we're going to see the last blast from Nomi if there's a wave out in the sea. Or
Yeah, we had two vertical off the tops there on the outside, then hopped and hopped and hopped till it got to the inside. So, yeah, we're just 10 seconds away from, and Nomi's paddling, looking for something there. He's alone in the lineup. Vicente is already back in. Here we go. Does that count? It was, two hits there on the outside. Let's see if he can light it up on the inside. Pushing his way in. Another little snap there. Well, lots of water there.
this thing's growing for him.
Well, that was a long 5-hit wave by Nomi. He's tired.
Yeah, well, that was an excellent effort right there. I'm not sure if, well, there you go. Yeah, that was after the horn, it's looking like. So we're going to go to commercials, and we're going to be back. We're going to have the women's final. The day's going by like crazy. Leticia Canales from Spain, Paulina Do from France, in the women's final coming up next. Let's go to commercials, and we'll be back soon.
Wow, how time has passed. Unbelievable. We're in the final. 35-minute heats. Surfer on surfer, 2 surfer heats. In the water, Leticia Canale Bilbao and Paulina Do, last year's winner. We're still early here and waiting to see the first wave ridden. In pink, Leticia, and blue, Pauline, here at the Cabreiroá Pro Zarautz presented by Oakley in the Basque country. Next to me, Mr. Ben Mundy.
Yes, that's all. We're in the final. 35-minute final. Took their surface all week. Matching up what should be a pretty epic battle. The hometown hero. Proud Basque surfer, Leticia Canales, Pauline Ado. From just over the border, up there in Anglet. These two know each other very, very well. And yeah, I can't even predict what's going to happen. Who are you backing, Artur?
I was about to ask you that. I'm thinking, I want to go with Leticia. Why? I just liked her form throughout the event. Beautiful stance, going so easily and lightly through the sections and just places her board right exactly where it needs to be, releases the water. Beautiful style. En contraire, Paulina Do, last year's winner. What's your pick?
Yeah, my heart says Leticia, but my head says Pauline. She's been pretty ruthless in all the events, all the heats I've seen her. Hasn't really been troubled. Anytime she has, she's fought back strong. So she'd probably go into this as probably favourite, I would say, based on the results this year and her history. But yeah, Leticia knows obviously the wave inside out. Pretty pumped up, so it's going to be tight. There's Vicente Romero, he too has been on a tear this year. He's ranked around 40s on the QS. So right in that sort of upper echelon of all the qualifying series surfers. And now got a chance at claiming a trophy in Zarautz. And here goes Leticia on a backhand, just waiting for something to step up. There's 2 turns. She's got one more section here. There's a third. A whole lot of fourth. I mean, she's getting some turns in. Good wave selection. Didn't really unleash anything of any fury, but first wave, got a few turns in. That's going to be his counter. Settles the nerves as well.
Yeah, that wave didn't provide much energy, but that was exactly what how she goes between the sections. You know, so easy, kind of like, I don't know, call it ballet dance through the flat sections and just fits it right where she needs to and gets the best she could out of a medium to not an amazing wave at all. She turns some score and posts it just to start the heat at less than 5 minutes to go.
Yeah, exactly. You know, we'll see where the judges put that in terms of making a marker. There's Vicente. I'll chat to Benny. And
Vicente. Beautiful performance throughout the event, and I suppose this result will push him up.
Yeah,
ratings.
It's guaranteed. I think 1,000 QS points. So
1,500.
If he wins, yeah. If he wins, he said at the start of the event that, you know, because he's at that level, he's basically going for CT qualification. He's 30 or 40 on the rankings. He has to win it for this to be any type of sort of counter at the moment. Like, you know, if you don't get a win, then it's not going to go in the qualifying series. Your best 5 results count. So if you know, anything under that just won't count. So basically, yeah, he's here to win, and wow, he's in the final, so he's got a 50-50 chance, if not better. And yeah, 1,500 QS points. Some of the surfers that qualified last year for the CT, that they had 1,500 point tallies in their top 5, so totally possible. And Pauline Ado, she's already got a 1,500 win in Portugal. And now she's aiming to add her tally. Storm up the ratings.
Well, Leticia is keeping the strategy of being the first heat score. She had a 5.17 as we see Pauline, the replay of her last wave. 3 pretty similar turns, nice wrapping turns, trying to go back and regain some energy from the foam ball, the white water behind her. That's the energy source of the wave. So just a first opening wave, 29 minutes to go. There's a long time ahead of us. Well, this is the final. Okay, we're going now to Ben and Vicente, last heat's winner. Take it, boys.
All right, so here we are, first finalist of the men's round, Vicente Romero representing Spain. Amazing surfing. It looked really tough out there.
Yeah, conditions are pretty hard, and super happy to be in the final. It's my first final in the QS. Last year I did third place here, so yeah, I'm better in my result now. My goal was being this final because in the rankings I'm changing big points, and my goal is be on the prime. So I have one more hit and just wanna do what I've been doing all contest long, and hope to get a win.
You've been surfing amazing. Your backside attack is, your form and your style is looking so on. Your equipment looks great. And we're excited to have Spain against France in the final right now of the women's, and we have Spain against France in the finals of men coming up. So I'm going to let you go soon, but I know you've got a lot of fans at home. Vamos a hacer un mensaje a sus paisanos y toda la gente aquí de España.
Sí, estoy muy contento. Aún queda una manga. Y bueno, está Leti en el agua y a ver si entre los dos nos llevamos el primer puesto aquí. Vamos.
Bueno, ponte pila y todo. All right, back to you guys in the booth, and let's get back to live action.
Thank you, Ben and Vicente. Yeah, smart performance by Vicente, advancing onto the final. And we see Leticia Canales on her third wave in this final heat of the Cabreiroá Pro Zarautz. Looks like a promising section there. Oh, ditches the fins. Looks like mistiming. Could have been a real good turn right there. But just slipped out of her feet. Lost the board.
Yeah, unfortunately, just kicked it out. Couldn't quite make it. I'll tell you what, as you see her, she's eyeing off. There wasn't a whole lot of sort of manoeuvres out the back, so she went for something big. It was a nice section, just never really looked like hanging out. I'll tell you what, in terms of some of the most impressive performance today, I reckon there's a lady down on the beach bodyboarding in a bikini.
No
I
way.
reckon that's one of the most impressive things I've seen today. It's about, I mean, you know, the weather's fine. It's an awesome place to be, but, you know, that water isn't warm. Let's not kid ourselves.
She must have a warm blood flowing.
Yeah, she's loving it. She's out there catching waves on a boogie board. Loving and feeling it. Legendary effort, I say.
Good times.
But Leticia, 5.17, as you said, that was a solid start for that right-hander and failed to back it up. Pauline here, though, I just checked the rankings, and she's around 30th on the QS rankings. If she was to win this, she would jump from like 30th or 34th, like all the way up to 14th or 13th on the rankings. So huge on points on offer.
Yeah, that's not too bad in this final heat. Scoring some points, some dollars, and Leticia going backside and lets it go. Yeah, the wave splits on her, and just she goes back out as Paulina do has the priority right now at 25 minutes to go. It is becoming a heated situation.
Yeah, a bit of a slow burner, isn't it? 5.17 for Leticia started off. You know, a solid score, but nothing exceptional, and she's failed to back it up with anything with any real sort of heft. And then Pauline just got a 4. 10 minutes of the heat gone. Long heats, 35-minute final this is, so plenty of time.
Yeah.
But yeah, no fireworks as yet.
Yeah, the wind is not letting go and kind of scratching the face of the wave, and it picks up and gets stronger as we see Paulina Do in blue Again, opting to go right. Second cutting turn, she looks for that juice, just that one good proper turn. And another little cutty, but that's not what she's looking for.
No, she's staying busy, weaving around that Addo style that we have seen over the years. Still smooth, but no real meaty sections. Still, she only needed a 3.51 to move up into first. That was her first wave, was a 4. So you need 3.51. Well, what she does, she just builds scores, starts to put pressure on the opponent. Even though not amazing scores, she's still always in the heat, always making her opponent think about what she's doing. And she's just going to get through here. So what, bobbing and weaving, but no big turns. Didn't even really get an end section she wanted to crack, unfortunately. So we'll see if she gets the score. Only a 2.83, so not enough at this early stage. So, I mean, Pauline knows that a 4 and a 2 ain't going to cut it. She'll be looking for scores up around the 6 or 7 and into the excellent range. She's been getting some big heat scores all year. And she's just going to have to reset now with 23 minutes left remaining.
And reading on Letitia's last interview, she was very excited, but looks like in the water it's a completely different Letitia. She handles the heat very well. Took that first wave, scored that 5.17, then a 2.33, maintaining her priority. Could burn a few minutes. And it looks like at the moment things are working in favor of Letitia, as we're having a beautiful sip of this amazing natural water.
Oh, it's lovely. I need it too. Yeah, so much excitement in the water.
Cabreiroá.
Oh, it's beautiful, natural, all good. And finals day now. I bet you those athletes out there be like just sort of praying for a sip of water. And then they're praying if they can spray the champagne over their opponent at the end on the podium. It's all up for grabs, 1,500, a lot of prize money, a lot of win. You know, like here to raise a trophy for Letitia would be huge in her hometown in the Basque country, and massive for her career. Pauline's, she's won many events, but right now she's on the comeback trail trying to get back in that CT, so the points for her are huge. So much on the line.
Yeah, but at 22 minutes to go, it's still wide open there for Pauline. For both girls, basically. There's still many more waves to flow in those 20-plus minutes of the Cabreiroá Pro Zarautz. And yes, talk about that water. Natural springs. 3 natural springs in different parts of Spain. Very old. And the brand, Cabreiroá, is very smart to go not just mineral. The fact natural makes complete difference to me.
Yeah, again, awesome support of the surfing world here, making these events happen. Of course, Oakley too, presenting this event. So the Oakley been amazing for European surfing this year. Got events down in Portugal, and then also up in here, and then in Anglet in the summer as well. So, yeah, without those guys and sponsors, we wouldn't be here. So supporting surfing is incredible.
Talk about Oakley. The name rhymes surfing to me. Since I know myself, I know surfing and I know Oakley. It's always been there.
Yeah, you just think of Tom Carroll wearing those blades on the pipe.
With the pipe, with the pipe
trophy. Kong as well. And
good times, late 80s, early 90s.
And right now, though, these girls got to make their own history because they're just struggling to get any type of meaningful latch onto the heat scores of a 5.17. That first wave, which Letitia got really early in the heat, and that's been the only score of note in this final. Bit of an anticlimax, if we're going to be honest. We need some fireworks. We need some waves we haven't ridden.
100%
we do. Ratch up the heat. Because at the moment, 20 minutes to go, just sort of petering out a little bit. There will be fireworks. We just need a bit of action.
Yeah, you can count on these 2 fine surfers that lit up throughout the whole event. Beautiful performance by both of them, and that's why they're here in the final heat of the event. The women's division, Leticia Canales in pink and Paulina Do in priority in blue. Whoever's out there in Webland and you just joined us, you're at the Cabreiroá Pro Zarautz presented by Oakley. We're watching the contest jersey just behind us here. And yeah, it's a beautiful day building up. We're reaching those last minutes, 19 minutes to go, just before the men's final here at Zarautz. We had so many different conditions throughout the whole event since the start. Big, small, windy, high tide, low tide. And we're very fortunate to have such an amazing show. And here goes Leticia. Take it, Ben.
Yeah, she's off. Nice, smooth, roundhouse cut back. Gets the turn. She's waited a while for that and couldn't quite get it. And yeah, unfortunately, she couldn't quite get around that section. So, still.
Yeah, who knows? It might just be better, her 2.33, because the first turn was a beautiful wrapping turn. Displacing some water, having the fact there's no speed and power behind her. She really did a beautiful clean turn there, and another one backing it up, and when she tried to connect the wave, let her go. And yeah, 18 minutes to go. We're waiting on that last score of Leticia as Ben Mundy saying hi to some very old friends, as Ben is a well-known figure here on the European breaks, Mr. Mundy. And yeah, that's the replay of Leticia's last wave, and yeah, it's a 1.87. It's not a what she's looking for. It's a throwaway score for her. Still 17 minutes. There's lots of time there to make some damage.
Yep. Starting that left, speed it out. So she's looking at this one on the right this time. Vicente, he's fueling up before the final. Meanwhile, at the back, Leticia, this looks better. She can get up there, and she just can't quite finish it off. And unfortunately, but I like this. She's staying busy. I think that's a better approach. These waves are hard, and Pauline eyeing off a right-hander. Can't quite make it. So, girls just struggling a little bit with the current conditions. Leticia holding a slender lead. 16 minutes to go, though. That's not enough against an opponent of the caliber of Pauline.
That replay, it's interesting. I really like how she stands on the board. Her stance is really classic, right in the middle, and but not enough, maybe low center of gravity to pop herself out. That last foam climb could be an interesting score had she pulled it off, but yeah, she fell on that last one, and 16 minutes to go. We're looking for some spice.
Yeah, that's what we need. We need a bit of action. Look at her. He gets to choose his own singlet. You don't get to choose your own colour, Vicente.
That's
Get
right.
what you're given, mate. There he goes. Oh, check that one. Like light blue. Get to choose which sort of, what goes with your eyes.
Here goes Leticia again. Oh, bogged her rail there. Something happened on that turn, or maybe she just let it go. Pauline maintains alone in the lineup with priority at a bit above 15 minutes to go. Yeah, it's not an easy task for the ladies there. Still, there were some good scores today, so I'm confident we're going to see something at this finals heat.
Yeah, the two best surfers of the event. They've been on form, just haven't struggled to get the waves in this final, but they will come. We need something. We need something to kickstart this final. One good wave make all the difference. And Leticia is just getting more waves. she's been a bit more busy of the two surfers. Pauline started off with a 4 and just hasn't been able to sort of get on any type of a roll, which is unlike her. Her wave selection is probably one of her strong points. And she's out the back now. Got priority. Just need to kick-start this final. Meanwhile, Canales stays busy this time, looking at her left.
It looks like, after that last rail got stuck in the water, she's trying to keep it safe. She had some speed out there, but she went kind of lateral and didn't connect all the way through. But probably the wave didn't provide her what she wanted. And again, Pauline is out there. And been interesting. It was a wide field of amazing surfers, women surfers throughout the event. And other than these two fine women, amazing surfers in the finals here, who springs up in your memory?
We just see Pauline going left. Oh, and she hangs
made
on.
it.
So a bigger turn. So, yeah, you weren't going to keep her quiet for too long. Eventually, she's got a wave and she's made it count. So we'll see what Pauline only needed a 5.67. Bit of a phone climb. A little bit late. And gets it up. Almost comes unstuck. So whether the judges will penalise her if it wasn't that clean a finish. But she did hang it up there and came down. So we'll see how she goes as Vicente just eyeing off the lineup yet again. These things change pretty quick. You got to keep constant vigilance sussing out this bank.
Yeah, judging wise, it could confuse the eye. That looked like I'd say she had more danger there, taking more risk.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she didn't play it too safe, and that's why she just almost came unstuck. She did push it, so it's kind of weighing up that risk versus the fact that it wasn't that cleanly executed. Judges taking their time. We'll see where she goes. I mean, she's only have to improve on a 2.83, so she's going to do that. It's just whether it's enough. Maxine used to know.
Yes, picking up his rash is Vicente chose the blue one. It's, how they say in soccer, it's Liverpool against Chelsea.
Or Chelsea, Man City. Yeah, Sky Blues versus the Reds. Speaking of Sky Blue, Pauline O'Dowd getting it up vertical on the first turn. That's much cleaner, nicer. Now she's just looking to finish it off, making every sort of wave she can, and she finishes it. So
yeah, that
said she'd come back, and she has.
Would be interesting to see that full replay because we caught it just in the middle of the end of that part of the maneuver. At 11 minutes 20 seconds to go, that'd be interesting. Yeah, Vicente, blue rashi. Let's check the best waves of the women throughout the event.
Yeah, we're going to look at some of the highlights. Yeah, there's been so much action, so many good waves ridden over the course. We started here way back on Tuesday. Some 3 long days, 30, 40 heat days, with the surfers ranging from like out of control 8, 6 to 8 foot to small. But yeah, some of the big scores that were
just important to mention the first and second best scores were ridden within 2 minutes in one heat. 18.6 total.
Yeah, Canal Boulard, she was on fire in that first round. Unfortunately for Canal, she couldn't match it, and she actually one of the favourites to the event, especially after that performance, but she bowed out relatively early. Saw Caro Enrique.
That 9-point ride.
Yeah, on
beautiful
fire.
Performance.
So, interestingly, these two surfers.
So, the last score of Pauline O'Dowd is not going to suffice. She did diminish her requirement to a 4.47 to advance to the first place, but that last score was a 5.2, and then another score, which is not what she's looking for. It's a 3.43. So, yeah, Paulina Du still second place, 9 minutes, 40 seconds to go.
Yeah, so Letitia backed up her score with a 4.5 and a 5.17. Pauline got two waves. The first one was a 5.2 for that backhand turn where she sort of hung on. And then a 3.43. So as it stands, Letitia out in front, but Pauline Odo only needs a 4.47, something she usually gets in a sleep. So far from over. Canales will not be sort of in any way safe at the moment. She'll know that her opponent is way too dangerous to leave her needing such a small score with 8 minutes to go. She'll need to back up her second best wave. And
Yeah, it's not a huge requirement, as you say. She does score those points easily, as you say, in her sleep. It's just a matter of some good energy from this part of Bay of Biscay sent her way to change her situation at 8 minutes 30 seconds to go, while Letitia is holding on to her priority, trying now to stay closer to Pauline and cause her just a bit more stress towards those last minutes. Put some more pressure on her, as that's the only thing she can do while holding on to priority and waiting for the next set to filter in here at Zarautz. 8 minutes. Here goes Pauline paddling. She's choosing not to go into this one, and kind of distancing herself from Letitia.
yeah, interesting what Letitia does here. I think she's probably she's got priority. She's got the lead. She might be best to stick pretty close to Pauline, but she hasn't. Pauline's got one out from under her belt. Let's see if it doesn't look like that was enough. She needs a 4.47. I don't know. It's an interesting one. Do you just play your own game and back yourself, or do you try and sit near your opponent and get in their skins a bit? I know that in the last heat, Pauline did that. She was right on top of her opponent, even though she didn't have priority. Just getting up in their grill, making a think. And I think Letitia might it might be about time to do the same type of tactics as Pauline's wave. So I don't think that's going to be the 4.47 she needed. So a 3.03. So she's back out there. She's starting to feel the pressure herself now. 6 minutes to go. Super tight heat, nothing in it. But at the moment, the local Basque surfer is out in the lead. 6 minutes away from what would be a massive, massive win for the local lass.
Well, of course, Letitia is the local here, but Pauline is so experienced. I like what she did. Just paddled into that first wave, didn't let go. And then here, okay, here we go. Letitia in pink.
That's
No.
a poor choice of wave. That's a mistake. That wave never looked like offering anything, and she's given up priority. I mean, priority hasn't been a huge issue because the waves have been sort of all over the shop a little bit, but still, you'd still prefer to be in the box seat controlling things rather than chasing it down as a crowd starts
Beautiful.
streaming down the beach.
I can hear him lighting up there.
Yeah, for sure. Canales fan club.
Yeah, that, like you said, it's a poor selection, and the strategy she did on that previous wave, Paulina Do, I mean, paddled into one little wave, didn't go in, and then the next wave, she distanced herself. Of course, she didn't get the score, but still, it's a way to get waves under priority. So now she has priority, and Letitia is needing of some luck against Pauline as a very experienced and well-known surfer, former CT. She can provide. Just give her that pulse of energy at a low requirement of a 4.47. She definitely capable of providing what she needs, and see Letitia kind of chasing her, and can't see where Pauline is. Oh yeah, Letitia is looking for something to work with there. Is she gonna go? Looks like it. Yeah. Letitia Canales taking off, going right. First off the top, kind of lateral. It pushes her forward. Another cutting turn. But it looks like those last wave don't take them all the way to the beach, allowing them what they need to get to increase their scores. As we see Pauline again, it's the same type of condition where they don't go all the way to the beach, and they need those last turns there on the inside. At 3 minutes 50 seconds to go. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. The wave selection is just been a little bit dodgy, as we'll see here. The heat recap from the final. So this is a 5.17 here from Letitia. This is what started her off. That was really early on in the piece, and she probably wouldn't have thought this was going to be her best wave, but as it stands right now. And then Pauline Ado came back with a 4-point ride, her first wave. And this is the last wave that Letitia just got, a 5.43, and this is the 5.2 from Pauline. That's back it up and just hung it up there and got it down. So that stands as it is. Looks like Letitia, last wave at Pauline is not fighting. It's live action here. She needs, for that wave, she needed a 5.41. We'll just see what she did out the back. Look how determined she is. She just head down.
Oh yes.
Starts motoring back out, looking for a score. I think by the looks of that, it doesn't look like that wave she just got then was going to be enough. Let's have a look. Oh, big turn on the back.
One.
And then another. Just kicks the tail out. Wow, so that's probably her best wave. She needs a 5.41. Well, I think that might be enough, given the waves that we've seen throughout the rest of the final. 2 minutes to go.
Well, and now nerves are kicking in. The last 2 minutes of this whole event. Coming up to two surfers. And interesting that Letitia is kind of the same situation in the semi-final earlier this morning. She caught the first wave that kind of set the pace, and here we see change in situation. 7.33, Ben, on that last wave.
Well, we waited for the fireworks, and it's Ado that's brought it under pressure. And so, yeah, incredible surfing when it mattered. 2 minutes to go, 3 minutes to go. She's gone out and absolutely smashed the best wave of the final. That's why she's been on the CT. That's why she's so dangerous. She never gives up, and she surfs well under pressure. And that now means that Letitia Canales was 2 minutes away from a victory. Now she's 2 minutes away from, or a minute away from what could be quite a devastating loss. She has got time though. She's got 1 minute. She's got priority. She needs a 7.11. Can this be an incredible finish to the event? I mean, you never know. While there's life, there's hope, is the old saying. That time is ticking away from her though. Ado has just done a potentially killer blow when it mattered, and she's not done yet.
Well, Ben, I got to tell you, that first turn was full-on precisely managed power turn that set the pace for the rest of the wave. And here, this might be the last wave of the final. She's connecting to the inside, trying to find something. Half a snap right there, not a full turn. Another one releases the fins properly, but doesn't finish the turn. So it looks like this is all she wrote for Letitia Canales. Beautiful performance.
She fought and
Amazing
she fought,
final.
but just wasn't quite enough at 7.11. She knows she didn't get it with that wave. And unfortunately for Canales, she's just been done by the experienced Ado at the end. Heartbreaking for her, but a big win.
Big back-to-back win.
Yeah,
Pauline Ado.
another win. She's just absolutely dominating this Europe leg of the QS. and she's got another victory. She's going to go way up into the rankings, up towards 5,000 points on the qualifying series. Another bit of money as well. The cash comes in handy as she funds her dream of
How cool
getting
is
back
she
to
just
CT.
walking in? I love Letitia. She's cool.
Yeah, she's disappointed, but she's going to go back and think about how great she's done all week. Right now, we're going to go to commercial. We'll be right back with the men's final after this.
All right, and we are back. It's the Ben and Ben show again.
Yep.
So, wow, I was watching over on the big screen. What a blow for Leticia. She was really holding that heat.
Yeah, it was a bit of a stop-start affair, but yeah, you're right. Within 2 minutes, she had one hand on the trophy. But you can never, ever count out Paulina Doe. She's such a competitor, she just knows how to win. She grinds out results when it matters, and she got a 7.33 at the death. And really impressive sort of surfing under pressure. Not easy to do. Pauline's done it. And she's the winner, and deservedly so. She's had some great heat scores. She's won heats in all different ways. She's controlled some of the heats and smashed the big score. She's came back in others. So really impressive surfing from the French woman. She's definitely got a mojo back. And as you say, 2 wins. I mean, there's no better feeling than winning.
Yeah,
So I've been told.
We'll have to look back into the history books, but I think that, as far as my information goes, there's a three-peat for her here. So she is rocking and rolling. Here we go. Just started up our men's final. Maxime Hussenot from France in red, and Spain's Vicente Romero in blue. So pretty interesting. Spain and France, both the men's and women's. And conditions aren't looking any easier.
Nah, it's tricky out there, isn't it? You're just not quite sure what any wave's going to do. As Maxine in the post-heat interview said, he was just feeling it out in that semi-final. He's working out how hard you can push. He says it's just like almost like just a little wind swell. So it's it's difficult. If you push too hard, you'll come undone. And even when you're taking off, you're not exactly sure what's going to happen. But these guys know this bank now. They've been surfing all week. Look at that, just panning around. The skate bowl's on fire. The crowd's is streaming down to the beach, aren't they, Benny?
Yeah, it's
a lot of good
so
views.
busy. It's just noon here, which is like when most of the people are waking up, I would say, after last night's big parties. And sun's coming out, and it looks like we're going to have an opening ride by Vicente. Looking peppy. Picking off a nice one. There's that Vicente style. I love that beautiful backhand.
Wow, what a start from Vicente. Just smooth. 4 big backhand hooks, lots of spray. So, yeah, really strong start from the Spaniard. You'll be happy with that. Nothing like getting a good wave straight off the bat to put your opponent under pressure.
All right, so there he is. Kind of a little lateral one on the first turn. Now he's starting to pick up some momentum. The wave's starting to stand up a bit more. But just beautiful style. Make sure he gets that finish. Lots of spray flying. So pretty decent ride for that opening one. And we are Saturday at noon here in Basque Country. Beautiful Bay of Biscay, and we are going to have a full day of events. Even though this is our last heat of the surfing, we've got BMX exhibitions, skate stuff going on, DJs, live music, and it's not nearly over. And all of these surfers will be able to take the jerseys off, stretch out, enjoy a beer, and got some great food, of course, too. Vicente on his way out, just picks off another one, this time on his front hand.
Wow, it looks like he means business, Vicente,
Look at that
doesn't
first
he?
score.
6.83 for his first wave, and he's backed it up with another one. So, yeah, really strong start. And there's the understandable disappointment of Letitia. She's upset. She came so close. Look, I think she's had a few tears, the poor thing. That's how much it means to her. And she's just really forlorn. But, you know, what an effort. She's got to be proud of herself. You know, of course you're disappointed. Of course you're devastated to come so close. But I think hopefully in a couple of days she'll reflect on how well she's done and use it as a springboard for the rest of the competitive year.
Yeah, she also pushed past a lot of very talented surfers, and making it to a final is always good as far as the points goes, and just showing that she's capable of competing against some of the world's best.
Yeah, definitely. You know, she showed it today. Pulling that out. She's a great competitor, and she pushed her all the way. So yeah, she's plenty of positives, which she'll take. Here we go, the replay. This is the right-hander. So this is a 4.83. So Vicente Romero is within 5 minutes, got 2 scores. Super busy. He's so light and quick on his feet. Just pumping away. Tags it. So Maxime is patiently waiting, and Vicente scored, you know, not huge scores, but 6.83 is really solid in the conditions, and he's backed it up pretty quickly.
Yeah, it looks like there's been a ride by Red. We'll see what that works out. Those first 2 by Vicente had Maxime already in a combination situation in 11.66 points. And here he goes again. He's just pepped up. I like how he put it on the brakes there. And a big slam on that end section. Still spray falling. Wow.
He's on fire, isn't he?
He is on fire.
What a way to start a final. Just been electric. Manuel out the back, though, on a nice wave. Oh, that's a big turn from Maxine. And there's another one. So he's also firing up. Can he get the end section? He can't. But those 2 turns had venom. They had a fair bit of power.
So I think he's actually owed 2 scores. I don't think we've seen the previous wave.
No, he's fought back. So it's really great start to the final. Both surfers seemingly intent on pushing it hard. You can see Max. That was a big couple of turns. So strong surfing from the Reunion Island. His backhand is absolute killer. He's always had grew up surfing Reunion Island, St. Lou, so his backhand's always been one of his strengths, and he's was using it there really well. We'll see what the points of difference are. I think you're right. There was a 2.83 was his first wave we didn't see, and then he got another one, so we'll see where that came in.
Well, that was a really nice wave by Maxime. 2 really solid turns. And so he was actually officially needing 8.83 before that one, as Vicente answering back. Just when you think it's over, zips around and gets another chance. And
wow,
I think that little extra,
that was huge.
That extra one after the end is what put the stamp on it, 8.50.
Yeah, an 8.5, so really strong, and he's not done yet. He's just so busy getting the good waves, and just keeps whacking in the pocket, just up and up and up. You can just sense he's on a roll, but Maxine also, he's got another section, so, the judge has got a lot of work to. It's kind of making my head spin a bit, Ben. I don't know what's going on. These boys have just been racking up turn after turn after wave, and we're setting up for what's shaping up to be a pretty amazing final. 2 surfers going hammer and tong, 2 form surfers of the event, and they've brought their A game to the final.
Yeah, we're not even 10 minutes in, and we've seen some heated exchanges already. And, we're still owed a few scores, so we're just as lost in the water as these surfers are in the moment and not knowing what's going on. But one thing is for sure, Vicente Romero, 8.50, definitely makes a statement in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Look at this Max, though. He's got a couple of ways to come through. Didn't have a lot of open face this.
Look at the drive he has.
The
It's just
drive is
unbelievable.
Really contrasting styles, actually. And then just tagging that end section. Meanwhile, old Duracell Bunny just does not stop. Vicente Romero is literally...
Someone went to bed early yesterday.
He hasn't stopped paddling, surfing, moving since his final started 10 minutes ago. Racked up a 6.3 and an 8.5 already. And then he's still got more left in the tank. And Maxime, plenty of scores to come in. And when they come in, we'll have a really good indication. The spray he generates from those real tight arcs right in the pocket are really impressive. Really technical beach break surfing, not easy to do. I'll tell you that for nothing. And he's making it look easy. He's making the waves look good.
He is. He's making us want to go out there. Probably won't happen, but
yeah,
we're seeing that score for Maxime.
Paddle out and go,
what happened?
How was he doing this? But yeah, Max, some scores coming in. There was some solid numbers. The first one was that left where he did the 2 big turns. Wasn't a bit different to Vicente's. You know, not a lot of different turns, but just 2 big solid belts. And that got him a 6.77. So strong score. And I think he's got another one for the right. So as it stands, just anything to improve on a 2.83 will make his job a whole lot easier. Yeah, he's well in this, mate. He's well in it. And with 23 minutes to go, there's going to be plenty more exchanges like this. If Max is going to need to get up in the 8.5 range, that's what he's going to need to do. But he's got time and he's got form. So it's all going to happen. He's paddling ferociously for this, and he gets into it late, drives down the line, a bit of a bigger wave, and cracks it. 1 turn, if he can get some more in. Unfortunately for Max, he can't, but what a turn that was. It was huge.
It's one of my favorite lines that these guys do when they hit it backside, bring it around frontside. So that's definitely not going to bring in the score, but we still have a few scores that we haven't seen yet for previous rides. So we'll be waiting on a 3rd score, which I think was the previous of Maxim. And let's check out this replay right now. Boom, that was just such a beautiful approach. Had this thing open up just a little bit more, left some transition. He would have had a chance to reform it to the inside. Previous of Vicente came in 6.0. That doesn't go to his top 2. Still holding that 8.50 and a 6.83. 3rd wave of Maxime was a 3.50. And so those scores are starting to trickle in now, and we are going to see how this thing is shaping up now that we're just past the first 10 minutes. But 35-minute final, a lot of time for these guys to get going. And 22 minutes, so much can happen in that amount of time. Vicente out the back, holding priority, and they're probably kind of sitting tight, waiting to hear for those scores. Want to see what the situation is, just to kind of draw out that next plan of attack. But Vicente, wow, surfing like a man possessed. We'll see what happens when they get that information. 21 minutes, 40 seconds. Vicente holding first priority on our screen at the moment. We can't really see where Maxime is, but it looks like they're just kind of sitting tight. They want that information. They want to know how things are shaping up, and also probably want to see what the judges are looking for. It's just score by score, wave by wave. They're starting to discover how the scale has been set by the judges, and so yeah, we still haven't even seen the scores.
Yeah. A lot of action there. They're just probably catching their breath, to be honest. Yeah, Vicente, I'll tell you what, it's 5 waves,
solid. He's made every wave count. Really excellent surfing from the off. Max has responded. The waves haven't been as good, but he's put in some big turns. So a bit of a sort of style clash as we Vicente again going. Just picking the right waves. He gets so much spray. Oh, the pivot and the power he gets. You know, it's all set up in that sort of bottom man turn, and then suddenly just whips that tail around right in a super arc, and it's that arc that gives you the spray, and it's that spray that gives you the points, and it's those points that's keeping him in the lead, Benway.
Monday sounds like music every time you speak. You know you're in a good spot when you get a 6.43 and it's a throwaway. Here we go. Yeah, just he knows how to hit it in all the right places to make that water fly. And we still haven't seen that fourth score for Maxime. And by now there's so much that's gone on, I can't even remember what happened, but Maxime's answering back. And
wow,
there's subtle similarities between that one hook for Maxime and Vicente. Both regular footers, both dealing with that one critical section. We've got a score coming in for the fourth wave of Maxime. He is going to improve on that backup, but it's not going to be an easy job. 517. Nope. So, no, we got more coming in, I guess. 19 minutes and 30 seconds remaining, but, I mean, Vicente is just, he's an animal right now.
Yeah, it's real contrast. Max is sort of hasn't quite got the flow and the speed, but he's got the real power. And so the three turns, and he's also, because he's under the pump here, he's been forced to sort of dig deep and go extra hard on those turns. So he's really putting in some big, powerful backhand hooks. Just hasn't quite got the sort of sections and the flow that Vicente's been managed to get. But yeah, awesome surfing, just quite different. And Max still chases the big scores at 8.5 and a 7.2 was for that last wave of Vicente. So he's just piling on the pressure, piling on the points. And as it stands, he's already got a heat total of 15.7.
Wow.
He's got 18 minutes to improve on that. So what a start to the final.
Yeah, it's still early to say that Vicente is looking unstoppable, but he's looking slightly unstoppable.
Yeah, it's going to take something pretty special for Max to get out of this. He can easily doable, but he needs to get, well, yeah, I mean, he needs an 8.93, would do it in one wave, or he needs a couple of eights. So, yeah, Vicente.
Now another score coming in from Maxime. Just bit by bit improving, but he's needing a very big score, and Vicente just keeps trying to stack the requirements in front of him. So this is 7.2 of Vicente Romero, looking super solid. Spray flying, looking under control, precise surfing. And right now, when it seems like Vicente's had the best wave selection easily. Not only the surfing, but the wave selection. And if he's holding priority, Maxime's just going to have to kind of feed off of the scraps and really turn it up.
Yeah, his wave selection's been incredible. Every single wave he's got has had 3 or 4 opportunities, which is really hard to find. So he's just in real rhythm. And not only is he getting the right waves, he's making them pay. So, yeah, awesome surfing from Vicente. He's given his opponent a serious task. And he hasn't locked the door shut yet, but he's getting closer and closer.
All right, so 16 minutes, 45 seconds remaining. Vicente Romero, total of 15.70. Maxime Husseneau, total of 13.24. Now needing an 8.93. And under the priority of Vicente, sneaks this one in. Love that turn, but smaller wave. And with the score he needs, it's going to have to be one of the best sets that come through. So he just needs to get Vicente out of the way with that priority so he can pick one off.
Yeah, huge amount of spray. Even that one one turn from Max, you can see the drive he's got and the amount of spray he generates. Just hasn't had those sort of pockets that Vicente's been able to nail. So light in his feet, so fast.
Just needs to tack a couple more turns onto that thing, and that same approach could get him the score, but conditions are looking more tricky than earlier, and his previous heat was won on a lot of rights. Right now we're at that tide where the right starts to disappear, and in the previous days, as the tide started moving out, the left started standing up a bit more, but it's just too tossed up today to really hold that shoulder.
Yeah, so it's a much shorter period. Swell, so all a lot more disjointed. Not running down that left or hitting that sort of set bank. And we see Vicente sticking to the rights. That one not doing much at all. He's got to improve on a sort of 7.2, so he needs a really good wave to improve his incredible position as it is. But that's left Maxime Husneau out the back with priority. You sense he needs something pretty soon. If he can get one solid score, he'll give himself a good hit at coming back. But he needs a big score. He needs it pretty soon.
Yeah, and also, I mean, it's a great time for him to have the chance to choose the waves before he's really doing his head in on running out of time. Still plenty of time, 14 minutes and 30 seconds. I think we started out with 20-minute heats. It's almost a whole heat that he's still got to deal with.
Yeah, exactly. Plenty of time. There's so many ways that short period means that although the short sort of sectioning waves, there's a lot of them come through all the time. So, yeah, Max has got time. He won't be panicking. You know, he's got one good score, 6.77. Just needs to build on that. So, his experience, as he said before, he said, I'm only 26. I know I've been around forever. But he still is only 26, Max. You forget that. Sort of burst on the scene as a 16-year-old world junior champion. You know, although he's been competing for 8 years, he's still relatively young. Still got room for improvement. So yeah, it's worth remembering Max for his veteran status, just how young he is. But right now he'd be aging quick because time out there for him is just running away at a sheer rate of knots. Everything's sped up when you need a score. Time ticking away for him, 13 minutes. And he's just needing some type of couple of pockets. All he needs, he's so powerful, he just needs to express himself. And he'll be praying for something decent pretty shortly.
Well, he's been staying kind of quiet on the outside, probably kind of collecting his nerves. And yeah, it's not going to be, it's not just the wave selection, it's also keeping your mental game together. And 12 minutes and 45 seconds as Vicente takes a look here. Maxime's chosen to use his priority. And this thing could have the potential of growing towards the end. Nope. And so, yeah, he's going to be disappointed about that selection.
Yeah, he waited off that one, had priority. And then, yeah, it just, as you say, looked like it could have potentially run down that bank and got a few sections. And as soon as you said that, Benny, it just went fat, didn't it, and petered out. So, unfortunate
did
for Max.
Did I doom that left?
Well, I'm not sure. I just think
I
think you're a bit unlucky, mate. Well, it just goes to show how hard it is to read. You know, Max out there, he's, one of the sort of best surfers, knows Zarautz inside out, and even he's taken off in ways and not knowing exactly what they're going to do.
Oh, yeah, we saw Leticia as well. I mean, she wasn't having a very, very easy time. I'm sure she spent a lot of time here. So we're going to look at our top 5 single wave scores. The first and second are held by our second place at the moment. Maxime Husneau, 9.80 and 9.67, proving that he's got it. Marc Lacomere had a 9.60 earlier on. Ruben Vitoria, unfortunately losing out earlier, 9.0, and Maxime Husneau with a 9.0. So Maxime Husneau basically covering that whole top wave score list.
Yeah, and what he'd do for one of those right now, he'd trade all those in for a 9-point wave right now, because that's what he needs to move on. It looks like
but it also shows just how much the form he's been in all week. He's been absolutely ripping. You know what? He made a final too in Portugal, and he hasn't won in quite some time. It's a bit of a stumbling block now. Not sure if it's a mental thing, but he's been getting in these great positions, just haven't been able to capitalise. And so he's got 10 minutes to make it happen, but he's not going to do it on these waves, unfortunately. There's just no opportunity there. He'll go back out, reset, 10 minutes to go.
Yeah, he's got to be getting hungry for a win. And then another thing is we look at those top single wave scores. Those were done in some pretty much conditions that were about 5 times better than this.
Yeah, true.
And waves that were about 5 times longer as well. So it's not as easy in a game. And complete, I mean, just looking at the conditions now, it's amazing that Vicente's holding an 8.5.
Yeah, exactly. Vicente did all his work in those first 10 minutes, didn't he? And here goes Max again. Nice hook in the pocket.
I'm seeing a
driving
chance
down
here.
the line. He can do another turn, gets the fins out, and just unfortunately just can't get those 2 or 3 sections that the judges like to see for continuity and power and flow. Look, he's driving, and you can see he's putting everything into this, just driving, great footage, and gets it up, cracks the fins out a little bit late because he spent so much energy getting to that position, but it's not going to be the 9-point ride he needs, and he's going to have to go back out and try again.
Yeah, and I think Vicente Romero with the holding priority start getting a little bit more vicious with those blocks, and I don't think he's an easy sell.
No, not in his position. He's got such a commanding lead. He can afford to be relatively patient. And just his last few waves, I mean, it was probably unsustainable, that pace he was setting at the start of the final. 4 or 5, 6 waves are all great, all in a row, and since then he's just tailed off. Probably a natural thing, but we'll still want to, although he's got that lead, and although Maxine Houston needs an 8.93, Vicente would just be desperately trying to build on his scores and make the job even harder for his opponent.
And just as you were mentioning, the earlier scores were the earlier part of this heat was where he got those scores. But as we look out front, we're watching the beach grow. The tide's already moved a lot, even since the beginning of the heat, in about 20 minutes. So the waves that provided the potential for those scores may not even be existent anymore.
Yeah, that's right. It does change so quick. Just got off to an amazing start, just an incredible rhythm. Sometimes you just have those surfs. We've all had them, where you just get out, you just get wave after wave after wave, and things just happen. And Vicente just happened to have one of those in a final of the QS 1500 event. And it was those initial sort of 10 minutes that's got him way out in the lead. And now he's just going to try and hang on for 7 minutes to go.
Well, I'll tell you what, I've applaud the contest directors for putting the final today instead of the scheduled Sunday. We knew that the waves would drop, but the conditions are kind of deteriorating in front of our eyes. This kind of wind swell with this north wind on it, it's just going to keep blowing the swell out of the sea. And I think this is about the best timing with the tides and the conditions, as well as having some nice gallery on the beach, which also pleases the sponsors, of course. But yeah, we've got all the pieces together for a great final.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, they were dealt a bit of a dodgy forecast, weren't they? You know, like we had waves in the week, we had a bit of weather. The weekend was always looking really bad, unfortunately. Tomorrow looks even worse, pretty much almost uncontestable. So yeah, they've managed to plough through the available days and then pick the eyes out of today. The dying swell, but you're right. You wouldn't want to be surfing out here this afternoon or tomorrow. It could be pretty bad. So, and you can see by the scores, there's some big scores getting posted by both surfers. So, yeah, they've done really well in managing the tides and the winds and the waves and the different banks. And 6 minutes to go.
Seems to be going quite quiet out there.
No. Max will desperate to get at least one, maybe 2 more opportunities.
You remember you mentioned earlier, I mean, like the judges love to see the 3 maneuvers if possible, and this is getting to the tide where we know that that shallow section in the inside starts to drop into that trench, and that last chance to get that end maneuver starts disappearing. And so it's just going to be tougher and tougher and way more up to luck to try and find something, especially under the priority of Vicente, who's leading the heat. So sun's coming out, but it's getting a little bit darker for red at the moment. 5 minutes and 20 seconds. Definitely not one to write anyone off, especially with the previous performances of Maxime. The numbers proved it on those top wave scores. But yeah, it's the timing, and it's all up to the universe at the moment.
Yeah, that's right. Vicente, he's currently 41st on the QS ranking. If he wins this, if he holds on to this lead, he'll jump another 20 spots, go up into like 22nd or so, or thereabouts on the ranking. So right up there in the top elite. That means you get a better seed for the big events, the 10,000 events. So, you know, he's just right on the cusp of really making a mark and turning this season into something potentially special. So let's just have a look at the heat, see how he's played out, how he's got this lead by starting off with waves like this. This is his best wave of the final, an 8.5, just zigging, zagging, and then zapping at the end. So
And still one more.
yeah, and not done yet. So yeah, awesome. Max responded with this, a 6.77, really strong, powerful surfing. Just couldn't quite get another section, unfortunately, but. And then Vicente goes to his backhand, and wow, that last turn had some real oof. Max on his backhand as well. Like those turns. And the third one, I thought actually could have scored a little bit more for that one, but amazing surfing. Just the lack of sort of open face for him to work with is just holding him back at the moment. And he now, as it stands, needs an 8.93. It could be a case of Hail Mary. He's got a massive aerial game on him. And here he goes. Paddle for that. Couldn't quite get it. 3.5 minutes. Things are getting desperate. He needs something, and he needs it now.
Yeah, all of those replays, we remember, had all gone down on the first half of this heat. And this is where the tide starts to speed up as it's zipping out to the ocean and receding. And so the energy is working against them while they're trying to move their way to the inside and connect these things as we get down to the 3-minute mark. And really, with the waves at hand, it's going to be one single ride. It's going to be the make it or break it for Maxime, I think.
Yeah, that's exactly right. He's surfed every heat since round 1, and here he goes. This might be the last wave of his event. He's in the final. Oh, they are solid turns. You just feel that he's surfing so well. Just can't get the waves to open up. But they were 2 vicious turns. His second one especially. You can see the spray still falling. As he comes around here, he eyes off his section, buries the inside rail, cracks it. So it's really, really strong surfing, but just not enough open face to get into that excellent range, which is what he needs.
Yeah, and I think the only opportunity that he would have would be coming from the apex of that peak. They get right to the middle of the takeoff zone, which Vicente is definitely guarding like the troll under the bridge right now. And I don't think he's going to let him pass.
No, he's out there now. That was Max. Potentially could be his last throw of the dice. Another incredible event, but just hasn't been able to get over that line. Romero's been impressive. He's had some good results in Australia. Had a couple of quarter-final finish down in Portugal. Now he's right 90 seconds away of the cusp of winning this one. So, and moving up into the high 20s on the QS. It's early doors, of course, but what a position to put himself in going into some of the bigger events, the 10,000 events, so coming up in Bolito and towards the end of the year. So he's a real dark horse, right in the qualification mix. And you know, he's surfed so well. He's just been really consistent, been really positive, He's got a lot of waves. He's ridden them all well. I can't remember him falling off a wave in the whole event, Ben.
Nah.
He's just been really, really positive and really, really consistent. And that's why, right now, 45 seconds to go, he's right on the cusp of a massive win in Zarautz.
Well, we saw Maxime kind of pushing the panic button earlier. Here we go. Vicente taking off here, kind of leaving an opportunity out the back there, as there's still a couple waves left of the set. Last blast, 20 seconds. And I think we'll have a chance for Maxime to give it one more punch as he's searching around. And I think just from our vantage point, it looks like there's more swell on hand than there actually is. But here we go. This is it. Get in there. He's got the chin on the nose. Beats the buzzer. And let's see how he goes out in style. Looked like he put on the brakes. He's going to go for a massive air here. Oh, wow. So there you have it.
There you have it. It's all over, she cried. He fought to the end, as he always does. But it wasn't enough. And that man, Vicente Romero, he has claimed his win. He's over the moon. Look how pumped he is. What a great performance. He spent a lot of time in this region, now living in the Canaries. But, wow, what a win. And a well-deserved one. Max just flying down the line. Last punt. Even if he handled that or made it, it probably wouldn't have been enough. But unfortunately, just didn't get the waves. His surfing was on point, and look, he's upset. But yet again, as we say, if you can take the positives out of this, he's come back from injury. He's proved just how good he is, and yeah, and hopefully he can build on it and yeah, progress through the QS ranks throughout the year, and hopefully by Hawaii, you know, have a crack of actually qualifying, because he's good enough.
Yeah, congratulations to Vicente Romero. And I'm sure all of his fans here in Spain are very, very happy at the moment. And let's see how he's going to go out. He's going to take put a little flair on the victory ride, just looking charged. Look at our boy.
Yep. He's the men champion of the Cabreiroá Pro Zarautz Basque country, presented by Oakley. A well-deserved winner. He's been on fire all week and smashed the final. Got an incredible start in the first 10 minutes. Never look back. And we'll see his best couple of waves. Just this is the form that's got him the trophy. So this is a right hander. It was early on in the piece. You can just see him here now. He starts to wait for this. A few S turns, and then that was the money turn. Just spray goes in his face, and you think he's done, and he gets another little bonus section at the end.
Wow, so this is how he put it together early, got the job done halfway through, and just held that lead. Amazing. And so showing how he's earned it, and he is going to be welcomed by the entire beach. What an event this has been. It's been amazing. We've been so lucky with the surf. You get that victory right in.
There he goes, on the shoulders. Look how pumped he is. His mates down there. Pablo Montero and a few of the Spanish boys. Stoked for their mate. Nothing, I'd imagine, no better feeling than getting chaired up the beach.
Oh, yeah.
About to pocket a big fat load of cash, a load of qualifying series points on the shoulders of your friends. Doesn't get much better in the surfing world. And Vicente Romero is your champion. And yeah, well deserved, I'd say.
Well, it's been an amazing event. Of course, we want to say thanks to our sponsors who made this wonderful event possible. The Cabreiroá Pro Zarautz Basque Country, presented by Oakley. And special thanks to Cabreiroá Water, Oakley, Escari Basque Country, Marco Polo de Mercedes. That's the new van with the big pop-up top.
Yeah, yeah.
One of those things.
I've been eyeing them off all
Thanks
week.
to GAM for powering us up, keeping the whole event charged up and electrified, making this transmission possible. Body Glove Estrella Galicia, Cuchabank, Ayuntamiento de Zarautz, Diputación de Guipúzcoa, Explore San Sebastian Region, Euskotren, Gobierno Vasco, Federación Guipuzcoana de Surf, and we're going we're going to go out and have a word with the women's, the winner. We heard that we don't call her a champion anymore. I almost said it.
The event winner.
Nico Leroy. So we're going to head her down right now. Women's champion, France's Pauline Nadeau, for be a three-peat. We're going to have to check the history books. Take it away, Arthur. Let's have a word from our winner.
Ben, here we are with the winner of the Cabreiroá Pro Zarautz, and not just the winner, back-to-back winner. Pauline, you know this is your second win. Coming in to this event, you had more pressure on you, as it always, when you're the former winner. Tell us about how you felt this morning.
I feel like maybe yesterday was a hard day, and I was already happy to have a few good hits, and being in the semis is just bonus after. But yeah, for sure, I was aiming for the win, and so I don't know. I thought that I was handling the pressure quite well, but just in the end, the final was a bit stressful. But yeah, so happy to win again here. I feel like it's a special place for surfing. People are really into surfing, so I love to come here.
Well, you came into the final against a hometown hero. Another reason to be pressured, but you managed the nerve and you got that 7.3 something at the end. Last 2 minutes. Tell us about that wave.
I know I was pretty lucky to get the opportunity there, and it was. I felt a bit off rhythm during the final. It was really hard to get waves with potential, and I feel like Laetitia surfed a really smart final, and she was getting the best scores. Yeah, I was under a lot of pressure at the end, and like I said, I was just lucky to have an opportunity. Laetitia deserved to win too, and but yeah, I'm sure she'll get her win soon.
Well, you scored 1,500 valuable points. It's gonna boost you up the rankings. Where is your next destination?
Next event will be South Africa for QS 3000, and yeah, those points here are really helpful, and it's a good confidence boost too, because before the European events, I didn't have a very good results. So yeah, I'm happy about my surfing and what happened. So hopefully I can take this momentum into the next events.
All right. Well, back-to-back wins is already stuff of legends. Any last words to say to your crew and friends?
No, in French, yeah. Merci à ceux qui m'ont soutenu. J'ai reçu pas mal de messages et voilà, c'est une victoire ici, c'est spécial. Ça fait plusieurs fois que j'ai pu gagner ici et je suis super contente. Donc voilà, le plus dur reste à faire, mais bon, contente d'avoir cette victoire. Merci à tous.
Well, thank you, Pauline. Beautiful performance. I'm going to take it back to the booth. Ben and Ben.
Congratulations, Pauline.
Yeah. Wow.
Beautiful natural spring water. We're going to go back and we're going to look at her best rides, Pauline Nadeau's best rides, top scoring rides. We got a little highlight. Her best two waves, and so we've got a little highlight reel right here. Let's take a look right there.
Pauline, this is a left-hander. She got a bit behind the section here and just a bit of element of risk, got it up, then went down. I think that was a solid score. I think it was around the 5-point mark. And then it was the next wave here. This is the one that she got 2 minutes to go, needed a score. First turn is pretty savage. And then the wave just sort of opens up. She does well to get the end section here. She needed a 7.33 for that wave. That was the one that sealed the deal with 2 minutes to go. Yeah, Laetitia Canales just get down. As I'm joined in the booth by Arthur. Here he is, getting ready. Just having talking to Pauline. She seemed pretty happy. And back on the QS grind, she's just totally focused and committed.
I love the back-to-back stories.
Yeah.
One here last year, one this year, boosted herself up the rankings points, 15 valuable, precious points. Yeah, she's stoked.
Yeah. Yeah, well, she's well deserved. She's on fire. Right now, though, we're going to go to commercial, and we'll come back to wrap things up right after this. Okay, there you go. So we are back live here. We've just seen the two finals wrap up. We might have a little bit of a look at the men's, some of the top scoring waves from Vicente Romero, the winner, and just see how, in fact, he did it. So this is the highlights from what's been a pretty epic week of waves.
Well, while I was waiting for Pauline's interview, I heard the crowd blow up, and the guys were ripping it up there.
Yeah, there's been huge support from the crowd. Yeah, Vicente Romero was absolutely smashing it, so he was getting huge cheers. Yeah, the beach is just absolutely packed, as you can see. The skate bowl, crowd streaming in. Half of them just holding on to little Estrella glasses of beer. You know, kids and parents and all sorts of people made the journey down to Zarautz, which is like the capital of sort of the Basque country surf. It's like this epic surf centre. There's a beautiful Guterres, the harbour there, just to the west of the beach itself. And, you know, it's just a beautiful part of the world. What else can we say? But right now, let's have a look at some of the recap. Here we go. So these are some of the best waves we've seen sort of today, best of the finals day. We started off with just 4 surfers left in each division. And it was this woman here that came out on top, Pauline Ado. She was always just in rhythm with the ocean. And when she did get in a bit of spot of bother, when she was put into a corner, she came out and battled her way out of it each time. So really strong surfing. Just really sort of wave or ocean knowledge, I think, was probably really crucial. She just got so many good waves, and she finished them all off. Didn't make many mistakes. You know, even there, smashing it right on the shore.
Well,
so, super impressive.
Yeah, it's just good decision making and pushing the rail right where it's needed to be, and she saved herself twice in the semis and in the finals. Got the score she needed.
That's right. This was
Max's.
Max's. This was in the semi-final. Max in Houston. So he started off this morning really strong. This has got a couple of waves off the bat. And look how fluid and fast. Unfortunately for Max, he didn't get any of these waves in the final. Sort of used up most of his ocean mojo in the semis. And but I'll tell you what, that type of surfing is so fresh, so powerful, so crisp. And yeah, he was such a worthy finalist.
Yeah, I think that's the beauty of this sport. So many things, so many elements have to come together. It's not just only being a good surfer technically. Like you say, the mojo with the ocean, being fit, making the right decisions, and of course, you know, being on top of your game. And this time, it worked towards Vicente. And yeah, here we see another beautiful turn by Pauline. That's the final, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think it's that first wave she rode against Leticia. And then goes Vicente. Oh, that was a strong opening turn there, and the winner of this event, strong bash there. The water flying out from the back of the wave, and another climb there.
Yeah, Max on the left, sort of traded blows. Max was getting sort of 2 turns in each wave, and that's all he could ever sort of muster. They were always really good turns, but he never had that 3rd or 4th sort of linked section, whereas Vicente just found the waves that reeled off, and he just bide his time, do like little tight little pockets like this, and get it up there again. So I don't even think that was one of his scoring waves. I think this one might be. But yeah, there's that sort of arc, loads of spray, and then just gets it round again and just kicks the tail out. Really, really strong surfing. So yeah, what a finals day. The waves deteriorated, but the surfers made the most of it. Really good sort of small wave rippage, high voltage performance surfing from the best sort of European surfers here. And Vicente Romero and Pauline Ado are the champions, and well deserved.
Amazing.
I've had a ball.
As you say, you call it surfing capital. I would call it good life capital.
Yeah,
Just a beautiful life here, beautiful weekend here in Zarautz, and an amazing ending Vicente, men's champion, and Pauline, back-to-back champion here in Zarautz. So, yeah, quite an amazing finals day today. Of course, like you said, it's, conditions weren't the best we expected, but that last final heat of Vicente looked so energetic, full of blasting turns, and I just could hear the crowd lit up. Okay, we're shooting off to Ben to interview the winner of the men, Vicente Romero. Off to you, Ben.
Gentlemen, so here we are with the winner of the men's division of this Cabreiroá Zarautz Basque Country, presented by Oakley, Vicente Romero, representing Spain. Felicidades, congratulations, man.
Yeah, it's my first final, and came it with a win. It's, you know, how the work I've been doing, it now is realized, so I'm super happy.
You looked unstoppable in that heat. It was pretty much, it started right as the tide was going out. You got those scores in the first half, and after we just watched the conditions kind of go down and down and down while Maxime is really needing some scores, and you just held him back the whole time. He's been doing amazing surfing as well. Both regular footers, both have the same opportunity, but you just had the wave selection. You were so connected to the ocean.
Yeah, I know the tide was going low and was changing every time, so my strategy was just try to put scores faster I could, and I started with a good left, a 6.83, then I back up it with a 4, I think, and with conditions like this, sometimes it's a backup, and then I found that my excellent wave was a 8.5 and on the right, and then I just started surfing. You know, I wasn't trying to sit and wait with the priority, because these conditions are very hard. Sometimes you think the wave is gonna be good and it isn't. So yeah, my strategy basically was surf, and then when I put my 2 good scores, I just try to manage the priority and be close to Maxime. I know he's very dangerous, and he was needing almost a 9, and I was like scary, like, you know, I need to put him on the combo. I was trying to find that another 8, because I know he's very dangerous, but finally it came to me.
Well, you've been working really hard. What does this mean to you for the points that this does for your season?
Yeah, before this contest, my goal was at least a semifinal, about points, you know, on the rankings, on the primes, all this stuff. But then when you are on the semifinal, you wanna be on the final. Then you want to win. So always my goal is win. So, but basically on points, semifinal was enough for me. But now I think I will jump on the rankings, maybe top 30, and it's a good result.
Well, finally, of course, we're in your home country. Vamos a dar un mensaje a tus fans y debe ser un millón de españoles ahí apoyándote y que les doy un mensaje.
Sí, quiero mandar un abrazo a mi familia, mi padre, mi madre, todos mis amigos que estén viendo ahora desde casa. Y he trabajado muy duro, llevo mucho tiempo en el QS y por fin el día ha llegado. Y nada mejor que haya sido aquí en Zarautz, que es un sitio que he venido muchas veces. He competido aquí en los Icas Chiquis cuando era pequeño y el sitio es increíble, y nada mejor que haya sido mi primera victoria en el QS aquí. Gracias.
Esquericasco, gran aplauso para el ganador del men's de Cabreiroá Pro Zarautz Basque Country, presented by Oakley. Back to the booth with you guys.
There you go, Benny.
All right, Ben's
Crikey.
excited.
You got a big bear hug. That's you get the prize money, you get the points, and you get a massive bear hug off Ben Way. I mean, what more do you want from a day?
Party with Ben.
So all the hard work's paid off for Vicente. Yeah, he's on fire, and it's so good that, you know, all that work, all that effort, and it's starting to pay off, and he's climbing up the rankings. So here we are. We see him here on the beach with his friends. This is what it means to him.
Amazing. What a sight.
So stoked, so pumped. All the boys, all the kids down there. So that's our winner. So it's capped up an incredible week of waves, incredible week of competition surfing. Another epic Zarautz sort of festival of surf. I'll tell you what, it's been a pretty special week, and he's capped it off with an incredible win.
It's going to be interesting to follow both Pauline and Vicente, see how they do in the rest of the season.
That's right. Plenty more surfing coming up on the WSL app. Of course, you can get all the action. We've got Corona Bali Protected coming up next week, so there's plenty of surfing still on WSL. But I think we're done here, mate. I think the surfing ends are out. It's pretty much over and dusted. We've seen some amazing footage. We've seen some great waves. We've seen some of the best European rippers. So it's been an incredible week. But I think, mate, like all good things, have got to come to an end.
So good, amazing, but we have to say goodbye.
Yeah, it's been a
It was
pleasure.
beautiful.
It's been emotional. It's been enjoyable.
Ups and downs.
It's been fun. But that's it. We're going to back here. We'll come back next year. Thanks for all those guys out there for listening.
Thank you.
Couldn't do it without you.
Good times.
Thanks for
good
everyone
action.
that's been involved. Bye, I'm Ben Mundy saying bye-bye.
Arthur Askovan, and on behalf of Benway, good times. Hope to see you next time. Cabreiroá Pro Zarautz, presented by Oakley.